Hello. Hi, it's me. He's back, he's back, but I never left. Howdy. You know, I'm starting to think that Mondays are like cursed because I woke up this morning and I still have it, but I've had like a headache, like a really minor headache that just sometimes gets worse and then sometimes gets better like the entire day.
Underscore orange burn.
God damn it.
Underscore orange burn. Underscore orange burn. Underscore orange burn. Underscore orange burn.
We're all having a good time.
Underscore orange burn.
And here you are.
Underscore orange burn. 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 Underscore
oh my god.
Underscore orange burn.
As I was saying, I've had like a headache all day today, and it seems to go away when I am streaming, because I feel a lot better now. But like I left to go use the restroom before stream, right? The headache came back, and then I sat down, put my headset on, moved over to the just chatting screen, and now I feel fine. I think this is my brain telling me that I should just go full content creator and screw having a day job. Because it's always Mondays when I wake up in the morning and I have to go in to work after a weekend. Damn. Oh well. Anyway, welcome back. We got some Katawa Shoujo today that I haven't had in a while because I'm an idiot. We're gonna do Act 2 of Hanako's route, or at least we're gonna try to get the entire Act 2 done. We're usually pretty good at getting an act on a stream, but we'll see. Depends on how long the acts are, basically. I don't really have like any announcements or anything. And listening to the game audio and my own soundtrack is really messing with my head right now, so we're gonna swap over. Catch you on a second. Oh, it's gone. Ah, apparently I'm gone too. Pop. Hello. I'm back. We got more Katawa Shoujo. We got Act 2 Hanako route. I don't really have anything else to add. I say we just jump right into it. So we load to the bottommost save, and we continue. Because of my headache, I'm gonna go easy on the voices today. Not that I anticipate there's gonna be a lot of, like, I guess if there's a lot of Kenji, I might not do my regular Kenji voice, but I think that's about it. I think everybody else I can do their voices just fine. I don't think it's that bad. Anyway, let us begin. Before I know it, I'm opening the door to class 3-3, glad to see that I'm not the only one who seems to be a little hungover from festival week. Every face in the classroom looks gaunt. With the festival now over, it's as if everyone's life dreams have been achieved. With nothing left to live for, the students have relied on instincts alone to guide them to class. Or maybe I'm just reading too much into it. Everybody's just tired, dude. Hi, Pak Pak. I slowly make my way to my seat. And it's only then that I realize why the room is so peaceful. The seats beside mine are blissfully empty. The world's loudest interpreter for the deaf has yet to arrive. Just as I'm about to sit down, the door flies open, revealing a resplendent Misha, drills bobbing from the dramatic entrance and arms stretched towards the sky. Hi, Misha. Yahoo! It's all over! It would appear that not everyone is affected by the post-festival depression. The rest of the class glare at her, obviously thinking the same thing that I am. Misha, still frozen in the doorway with her arms still in the air, nervously looks around. It's obvious that she senses the foul mood, but can't work out exactly what to do. Suddenly, she jerks forward. Hey! Time to kick the Angie. No, don't kick the Angie! What did she do to deserve this? As she stumbles into the classroom, she reveals she's an A, arms still extended from when she shoved Misha. Kick the Angie. No, don't kick the Angie, no! Thanks for the entertainment, but shouldn't you two take your seats? Still slightly embarrassed, Misha takes a few seconds to realize she has to translate. Oh yeah! Shishan says she's not happy with you ditching us last week. We were really busy. Is that so? What about the stuff I already did for you two? She says that only counts for council members. Since you declined, she doesn't owe you anything. Misha leans closer and whispers conspiratorially into my ear. Actually, I think she's just a little sore that you didn't spend the day with her. She's really thankful for your work last week, though. Sensing that she's being talked about, Shizune lightly wraps her fingers on her desk until Misha turns around to face her. I can't understand any of the fast-paced signing that's going on, but from Shizune's slightly embarrassed expression and Misha's poorly contained laughter, I can guess. While this exchange is happening, the door opens once again, but this time at a much more reasonable pace. Hanako quietly enters the room and pulls the door closed behind her. Peering out from under her hair, she quickly scans the classroom. Our eyes meet and she suddenly stiffens. She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and then walks over to my desk. Good morning, Hisao. Morning, Hanako. You're a little late, ain't ya? I was talking to Lily. About today. Ah, so you've got a list then. We can leave straight after classes in that case. Sure. I'm looking forward to it. She's signing Rap God. Hanako briefly flashes her embarrassed smile at me and then hurries off to her seat. During classes, it becomes apparent that it's not only the students that are a little despondent after the festival. Muto simply gives us a list of exercises from the textbook and then sits behind his desk. I totally forgot about the brief lunch period for a moment, such as the banana-lity of the day. I know it wasn't very funny, but I wanted to say it anyway. I'm sorry. It's mind-numbing, and everyone seems surprised when the bell signals the end of the lessons. As I'm packing up my bags, Shizune and Misha flank and entrap me. Yeah, I deserve that one. Say, Hee-chan, it's still not too late to join up. There's a lot of post-festival paperwork for us to complete. No. Sorry, Misha. I've got plans. As if sensing the cue, Hanako appears behind me, holding a small bag and trying to avoid eye contact with the outside world. Banality? Is that the new Mortal Kombat finisher? It would probably be better than the rest of their games. Misha's eyes open wide and then she bursts into laughter. You move fast, didn't you, Hee-chan? Or don't you, Hee-chan? We won't disturb your date any further. Behind the roaring Misha, I see Shizune taking far too little interest in the scene. I might be taking this the wrong way, but I think she's deliberately ignoring me. The little shit. I feel a gentle tug on my shirt and turn to see Hanako's eyes fixed firmly on the floor. Let's... Gotcha. Shizune, Misha, see you later. And I'm still not interested in the council. You spoil sport. Misha and Shizune retreat into the hallway, happily signing to each other. Got all your stuff? Let's head off. Floods of students pour out of the school gates and onto the road into town. It's a little weird. It's almost a scene from any other high school, but the illusion fades because of the occasional wheelchair or missing limb. One thing I do notice is that nobody is alone. God damn it, Stern. Stern's just gonna do whatever it takes to hover around 69 points, aren't you? That's your goal, isn't it? And as Hanako and I pass through the gates, I notice that she closes the distance between us. Not enough to be considered close, but she certainly isn't at her usual, just a little far position. We like to call that progress. I guess we're not familiar enough for her to get as close as she does with Lily. However, even though she has moved a little closer to me physically, mentally she seems to have traveled a mile. Her hands clutched around the leather straps of her bag to the point of whitening her knuckles, her head down and her mouth pursed closed.
Hey guys, did you know that in terms of human companionship, Flareon is objectively the most huggable Pokemon? While their maximum temperature is likely too much for most, they are capable of controlling it, so they can set themselves to the perfect temperature for you. Along with that, they have a lot of fluff, making them undeniably incredibly soft to touch. But that's not all, they have a very respectable special defense stat of 110, which means that they are likely very calm and resistant to emotional damage because of this. If you have a bad day, you can vent to it while hugging it, and it won't mind. It can make itself even more endearing with moves like Charm and Baby Doll Eyes, ensuring that you never have a prolonged bout of depression ever again. Thank you, Flareon.
If she gets too close, she's afraid to get friction burns. When will we see fireplaces to Cancer? Cancer? What? I'm gonna need you to say that. Run that one by me again. I don't follow. Sensor? Ah, fireplace. Fireplaces to censor. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. You're terrible. It's awful. At least it's not Vaporeon. Oh gosh. She almost looks like she's being walked to the principal's office for the first time. I try to stifle a giggle at the thought, but it is futile. What's the matter? Hey, I just thought of a funny joke. I guess there's no point in hiding it. Sorry, for a second there it looked like you were getting in trouble. What do you mean? I think you need to relax a little. We're not going too far, and it's only students around, right? Right. It bothers me a little to see Hanako so worked up. And you do this every week, don't you? Yes, with Lily. Of course, with Lily. I wonder, has she ever left the school without her? It doesn't seem like much at first glance, but Hanako's dependence on Lily is absurdly heavy. If she can't even handle leaving the school without her, how would she have managed to survive if the two had never met? Would she have found someone else to latch onto? And what drew her to Lily? I mean, is it not obvious, buddy? No, that's a terrible thing to say. Was it a lack of eyesight, or was Lily just kind enough to lend a hand? I wonder if anyone would have fit the bill. Well, I'm here. Besides, we're not going far. It'll be over before you know it. Hanako's knuckles slowly regain their color as she tries to hide a small smile. God damn it! As she tries to hide a small smile, but the effort of that seems to prevent further conversation. Hanako is hotter.
A Vaporeon is a good match to soothe her burns.
You know you deserve that one. We travel side by side down the winding road towards the town. The crowd of students thins as we continue along the sidewalk. Faster students rush ahead and the less mobile ones fall behind, rarefying the crowd into nothingness. By the time we reach the convenience store, we are practically alone. Using me as a shield between herself and the attendant, Hanako moves through the narrow aisles, adding an assortment of items to her basket. Bread, milk, tea, thyme? What kind of convenience store sells herbs? Then again, nothing about this town seems normal, which may not be such a bad thing in retrospect. Everything is so different and uncomfortable, dwelling on such matters isn't really an option. When I think about that, it reminds me of Hanako. No matter how much you try, you can't escape her scars. They still interrupt my train of thought when I see them. As much as I don't want to admit it to myself, I think I'm forcing myself to try to ignore them. Not that I'm scar-free myself, the jagged line down my sternum will never completely fade away. I just have the luxury of being able to hide it easily. But in a way, both of our scars remind me that we're all in this place for a reason. Hanako throws one last item into her basket, then sheepishly holds it out to me, along with a few banknotes. Could you please? It takes me a second to understand what she's trying to say. Oh, you want me to pay for this? She nods, but doesn't look up. I guess this task falls to Lily on the usual occasions. Sure, let me just grab a couple of things. Hastily, I grab a few essential items for myself and head to the counter with Hanako in close tow. The attendant gives me an indifferent nod as he scans the items. I suppose just ignoring us is one way to deal with the anomalies of Yamaku. They must get a lot of students here, being the closest store to the school. The staff must all have their own way of dealing with us. Or maybe they don't. Maybe it's only me who thinks twice about my unique schoolmates. Our transaction complete, Hanako and I head back out onto the street. The road is pretty much abandoned now. The students that were heading out have already left, and nobody has started returning just yet. And with only the school ahead on the road, there doesn't seem to be anyone else around. The emptiness certainly reflects on Hanako, her arms by her sides, each carrying a bag, her head no longer bowed and back to the upright position. Of course he had to think twice. He has to choose between Hanako and Lily. It's almost as if she were enjoying this walk. So, why all the weird things? Mixed spice? Why would you need that in school? I sometimes like to make food. Well, yeah, so do I, but spices? What? So why wouldn't you need spices for food? What are you thinking, Hisao? Explain this to me. Why are you surprised by this? It's a little more advanced. You think spices are advanced? Oh, you kids. Not really. Thank you, Hanako. Well, I think it's cool. You'll have to teach me one day. Sure. She doesn't seem all that sure, but pushing the point doesn't seem all that wise. At the very least, she seems a great deal happier than she did on the walk down here. That alone makes me a little happier. Outside the girls' dorm, Hanako and I sort out the grocery bags with our respective purchases.
Spices are hot like half of Hanako's face.
Oh my god. In comparison, my things look positively plain. Yeah, because you didn't buy... You don't spice your food. I tell you, you're putting me to shame here. No, I'm not. I'm just...
Hisao is the MFer that gets confused when he sees people salt their water while boiling.
Oh my fucking god, he is. I'm only joking. I have a stack of homework that I skipped last week, so I must leave now. Will you be alright getting that to your room? Yeah. Sure? Okay then. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. We part ways and I return to my room. Sal, you were doing so good until you started questioning her for buying spices. Piles of papers sit upon my desk, begging to be completed. With the entire ruckus of the last week, I've barely had any time to catch up.
Hisao can bring his own spice to the bed with Hanako. It's so spicy it will have her heat up.
Oh my god, Hisao, I thought you were dumb for not figuring out Emmy's mother, Emmy's father's situation, but I think this is worse. I'm never gonna be able to forget this, Hisao. I'm sorry, buddy. I tried to keep up with my studies while I was in the hospital, but some of this stuff I've never seen before, even back in my old school. Totally unprepared, I pop the top on a can of drink and get to work. Whatever the drink is, we know it's not a Dr. Pepper because it'd be too spicy. The days are really starting to heat up. This morning, I awoke covered in sweat. By the time the student body starts leaving their dorms for breakfast and morning duties, the sun has taken full effect. Oddly, that puts me in high spirits. We know why Sao doesn't cook now. It's not even 8, yet I feel that this day is going to be one of those pleasant, tranquil, warm ones. If I weren't at a school that considered every absence from class as a sign of a life-threatening situation, I'd consider skipping the whole day and just relaxing in the school gardens. Yes, today will be a genuinely lazy day. For a second, I stop in mid-stretch and consider the nurse's warning about exercise.
Hisao would tremble in fear from the spiciness of a bell pepper.
Warm, more like hot or burning. Ay, ay, ay. Maybe I should have kept up those morning jogs.
We know what else is heating up.
Running with someone like Emmy might have been a little testing, but if I worked at my own pace... Nah, who am I kidding? I couldn't stick to something like that without some kind of motivation. It's not like I sit around all day. The walk to and from the convenience store counts as exercise, right? Especially the walk back up the hill. Yeah, it's no big deal. Compared to months lying in a hospital bed, I'm getting plenty of exercise. It seems that I'm not alone in my appreciation of the day. Nearly every member of the class is glancing through the window and into the tantalizing sky. Even the steadfast Shizune seems to lack her usual vigor for schoolwork. Misha, as brazen as ever, has even unbuttoned the top buttons of her shirt and is fanning herself with a notebook. Must have been staring, as she's now sticking her tongue out at me. However, she shows no signs of halting her efforts, nor is she trying to hide the fact. The lunch bells seem to catch everyone by surprise, and the class empties at a much slower pace than usual. The heat seems to be draining the need to rush from everyone. Well, almost everyone. Hisao? Hey there, Hanako. What can I do you for today? Hanako already has a lunch bag in hand. I don't have to be a detective to work out where this is going. Would you like to have lunch with us again? I brought enough for everyone. Awesome! You don't have to be so stiff about it, though. Right. I take it we're going to the tea room? After dating the mom, you went for the daughter, huh? This is going for a 3. God damn it! Please. Lily said she'll meet us in there, so we should go ahead together. Sounds like a plan. This heat has made me pretty hungry. Hanako breathes a sigh of relief, and I gather my things together. As usual, the aura of the tea room is refreshing, feeling isolated from the rest of the world. Then again, the usual din of the school seems to be a bit subdued, most likely from laziness promoted by heat exhaustion. Hanako slowly spreads her food on the table, intently focusing on every little movement, as if she's trying to keep her mind off of other thoughts. It's not much, but I can tell from her demeanor that she's prepared everything with utmost care, even spicing her. I guess Lily isn't here yet, huh? Should we start without her? She'll be here soon. Hanako struggles with the lid of the container of rice. Here, let me help you with that. I take the container from Hanako's hands and try to force open the lid. Try as I might, it seems wedged shut. Let me guess, did you put this in while the rice was still hot? Yes, I was in a rush. I put the container on the table between us. I thought so. It looks like this is wedged shut. We'll need some hot water to get it open. But that could be a pain in here. We'd get water everywhere. Well, in that case, how about I contribute to today's meal? At the door, Lily smiles while holding up a bag stocked with various buns and bread rolls. I can't help but do the same. Since you two had a change of plans because of me, I thought I would bring a little something. Thanks, Lily. Here, let me get that for you. With a little guidance, Lily's bread assortment joins Hanako's riceless platter. I hastily make some tea to complete the picture. Well, I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, you didn't have to prepare anything. And they... No. I'm not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Alright, fine. I'm gonna say it. Plus, you probably actually put spices in the food. As I take a bite, I notice Hanako trying her hardest to not look like she's looking at me. It's nothing special, but then again, I can't really complain. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to cooking for myself.
It's getting hot in here, so take off your hot spices. I am getting so hot I'm gonna take my spices out.
I'm pretty lazy when it comes to cooking for myself. Not bad, I get. Oh, sorry. Not bad. I guess this is the stuff you... this is made with the stuff you bought yesterday. Yeah. Hanako's eyes shout at me, begging for some kind of feedback. Well, it was clearly worth it. Thanks, Hanako. I wanted to show you this after yesterday. That's okay. I was just a little surprised at the stuff you were buying. Hanako's always liked to experiment when it comes to food. I think it's good. Most of the time. While Lily's smile doesn't waver, the slight change in her tone tells me that things have not gone so well in the past. And it's not like Hanako has many people to sample her cooking. Hang on, was Lily waiting for me to go first? She didn't start eating until after I said it was alright. Her cheeky grin tells me that this was a deliberate action on her part. I'll have to try to work out how to get one over on her in the future to make up for this. Well, it's good, and that's all that counts, right? Right.
What else does she experiment in?
What? No. I'm gonna try to make sure that this stream can stay monetized. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say what I was thinking to say. Screw you, YouTube. Lily, satisfied at not being the first to sample Hanako's creation, begins to consume the food in front of her. I find myself staring as I watch her chopsticks gently touch the plate, their tips delicately poking and tracing to quickly ascertain the positions of the food as she dexterously picks it up. One might think she were a child playing with her food, if not for the situation. Though she does it with such care and thoughtlessness that it's obvious this is simply how she eats this kind of meal. Not wanting to miss out, I start filling up myself. Hanako takes a different approach, waiting until Lily and I have our hands clear before quickly snatching up her share. Before long, the containers are empty, save for the still-shut rice container. Thank you, Hanako. That was filling. No, thank you for the bread. Yeah, it would have been a disaster if not for that. Ow! You're both welcome. But now I must be getting back. It's far too easy to be late after eating here. Yeah, I see what you mean. I think we'll just clean up here and then head off. Well then, good day. Lily leaves, her cane tapping away down the quiet hallway. Hanako and I quickly pack our things and stay seated, waiting for the bell. Together, we stare out the window and into the endless azure sky. How long is the If it weren't for the pealing of the bells, I would have sworn that time had stopped. The urge to skip class rises in my gut. I shoot a glance at Hanako, who shows no signs of moving either. Not just yet. The interval between the warning bells and the end of the lunch bells passes in the blink of an eye. We really should go. People will freak out and start a search party if we skip. Hanako sighs. You're right. Slowly, she rises to her feet, and I follow suit. Silently, we make our way up the old stairs to the third floor and then to our classroom. At the door, I take a point and open the door ahead of Hanako, bowing my head down in apology in advance. I'm sorry we're late, teacher. I am greeted not by stern words, nor by an angered instruction to take my seat, but simply by the silence created by 15 or so students trying not to laugh. Muto, ever tardy, has yet to arrive. However, the fact that Hanako and I have arrived together is blatantly obvious. Shut up, Stern. Make that about 14 students trying and 1 student failing. The lovers return. Yeah, thanks. You can calm down now. I step through the door and realize that Hanako is firmly pressed against my back, hiding herself from the class. With my steps coming closer to my desk, she eventually breaks from me and stiffly walks to her own. Her efforts to mentally block everyone's presence from her mind are written fairly clearly on her face. Quickly checking the door for any signs of the teacher's arrival, I make a trip to Hanako's desk and whisper in her ear. I'm sorry! Don't worry about Misha, she's always like this. I enjoyed myself today, don't sweat it, okay? Hanako nods her head behind her folded arms, but still doesn't show her face. That girl is embarrassed! I yearn to stay and console her more, but Muto picks this exact moment to enter the class, halfway through his lecture, as if he started it in the hallway. Which, of course, is directly proportional to the charge, but inversely proportional to the square of the distance. He's so engrossed in his speech that he doesn't even notice me sneaking back into my seat from Hanako's desk. While Muto's spiel rambles on, Misha leans over to me. The teacher may not have noticed your tardiness, but I did. Thank you, Misha. That much is obvious from the show you just put on. I have been instructed to let you off the hook for today, but only on one condition.
You could say she's feeling the heat.
Oh, and what would that be? You have to help us this afternoon. I crane my neck to look over Misha's shoulder. Shizune is conveniently not making eye contact with me. Fine, just for today. I've already told you that I'm not joining the council, remember? Of course, doing so could be considered. She looks down at her notebook, obviously looking for her place in her script. Under duress, and hence would be against regulations. How very strange of you to be considerate of the regulations now. Things should be done by the book. It's just that the book hasn't been written for every situation, so there are times when it can be ignored. And yet you two wonder why no one else wants to be in the student council. After poking her tongue out at me, Misha returns to her workbook and we battle our way through the latter half of the school day. Before I can even stand up, Misha and Shizune have placed their hands on both my shoulders. Hey, I said I'd help out. Damn. This is just insurance, Isao. Insurance. Isao? Hanako timidly tries to leave the room by circling around us, and I suddenly realize that this may be my one chance to escape. Oh, hey, Hanako, what's up? Look at that glance. She is staring. Hey, what makes you think you've got time to chat? Oh, relax. This won't take long. Sorry, Hanako, you were saying? I was going to the library and I thought... Hanako's thumbs dance around each other and her eyes flit around the room, looking everywhere but at us. Sorry, Hanako, but Hisao has to come with us. He's got work to do. Oh, but you can help too if you'd like. So how about it, Hisao? Safe state! Safe state! I say safe state, but I already know which choice we're going with. We're gonna see if Hanako wants to join us and hang out. Hanako wants... We want Hanako to make friends with other people. Choose wisely. We're not gonna shirk our work. We're gonna help him out. We're gonna see if Hanako's interested in helping us out too. What do you think, Hanako? What do you say, Hanako? If we all help, it shouldn't take long at all. Hanako's fidgeting answers my question before she can even form the words. I really need to go. Well, that was to be expected. Looks like it's just me and the council girls again. It's easier to resign myself to another afternoon's work in the small council office. I'll catch up with you later, okay? Okay. Right, now that the farewells are over, it's work time. Misha and Shizune frog march me to the student council's office. Never once letting go.
Burn and isolate Hanako.
Never once letting go of my shoulders. I feel a little bad for treating Hanako like this, but if this is the price of getting Misha off her back, so be it. So then, what are we up to today? Debrief? Huh? Isn't that supposed to happen after something? Yep. We have to collate all the information from the festival so that Shi-chan can debrief the teachers. Shizune drops a large pile of paperwork on the desk in front of me and smiles succinctly. You need to sort these out into 2 piles. One for financial stuff, like receipts. One for feedback. One for positive feedback. Maybe one for things that look like it could be problems next year. One for problems that probably won't be able to be fixed. That's a few more than 2 piles. Huh? Oh, right. Yeah, I thought it would only be 2 piles. My bad. Right. While I'm doing this, what will you two be doing? Well, we missed lunch because we were collecting all these reports, so we're gonna go get some food. Why didn't you just sort them out while you were collecting them? Thankfully, my self-defense mechanism kicks in and prevents me from opening my mouth and further worsening my situation. Eh? How is that fair? Thank you, Misha! I was fretting over the unfair distribution of work so much that I didn't notice that Shizune had kept on signing. If it weren't for Misha's outburst, I probably wouldn't have noticed at all. Shizune seems to be delivering a fairly long string of commands to Misha, and none of them look pleasant. Reaching a conclusion, Misha signs briefly back to Shizune and then sits down at the desk next to me. Shizune waves to the both of us before disappearing out the door. I take it Shizune is going to get their lunch and Misha has to work with me. What was that all about? Chi-chan was worried that you'd get it all wrong unless you were supervised. Yeah. I mean, that's not exactly how I was thinking the reasoning was, but... And since she can't tell you how you're messing things up, she's making me stay. Oh, bummer. I wanted to go with Chi-chan. But she is going to bring us back some food. How good is that? Misha's flippancy is out of this world. From down in the dumps to on top of the world over some calories. She isn't wrong, though. No, she's not wrong. It's hard to imagine how anyone could operate at that level. Well, could have been worse. So, what are we supposed to be doing? Collation. I gathered that. Well, let's just start by making piles. We'll work out what the piles mean later. Right. Okay. We start to separate all the papers into increasingly complex piles. At first, it's just simple categories: financial, feedback, incident reports. Then they split apart into the good and bad reports. At least they got some time together. Yeah, we get some one-on-one time with Misha in Hanako's round. Then they split apart into the good and bad reports, and further still, until it starts to look like we've just thrown the papers onto the desk. Ugh, this is hopeless. Huh? Why? We're doing what we were told, right? Yes, but it looks like we're just making a mess. No, I think we got a lot done. Chi-chan will be able to...
calories. That's why Hanako didn't want to be in the room.
You're awful. Chi-chan will be able to work out the rest from here. So I think we can stop about here then. It's almost as if Misha's common sense left the room with Shizune. Still, no point in arguing. Anyway, what's the deal with you and Hanako? Deal? You were hanging out with her today, weren't you? Have there been any fireworks, any gossip that you're withholding from me? If I told you about my own circumstances, it wouldn't be gossip, would it? I guess not. We're just friends, I guess. Why are you so interested anyway? I thought you and Shizune didn't like her. It's not really like that. I know Shi-chan and Lily don't get along well. And since you can't really get Hanako away from Lily, we don't talk to her much. But that doesn't mean that I can't be concerned for her. What is there to be concerned about? Well, she never hangs out with anyone else, right? It's no good, Hee-chan. If Shizune and Lily dislike each other because their personalities are different, then I hate to think how Misha and Hanako would get along. I mean, in one way or the other, we're all in the same boat here, right? Well, I guess. This one time, when she left class halfway through, Shi-chan went to the teacher and asked what was going to be done about it. He said that every student here has special needs, right? And that Shi-chan shouldn't worry herself about it. Hanako never does any group work, she just runs off. Isn't that enough to be concerned about? I guess you're right. She still hardly says a word when we're talking. Well, that's more than I've been able to do. Shi-chan and I both tried when she started, but she got scared and ran off. I consider telling Misha that exactly the same thing happened with me, but she seems caught up in thought. Listening to Misha without Shizune's influence is interesting. I think she needs to realize that people here don't care what she looks like, and that she can trust us. If she could, I'd feel a lot better about her. I think this is the longest I have watched Misha without seeing her shine. When she's with Shizune, she's constantly waving her hands about, explaining the words to the world to Shizune. That amount of effort probably places a strain even on an agile mind. And let's face it, Misha isn't the world's brightest spark. Oh, that's mean. I think Misha, I think you're pretty smart. Well, I'll keep an eye on her for you. But you should probably apologize for earlier. I don't think Hanako was cut out for that kind of joke. Oh? Oh. I didn't even notice. Sorry. Don't say it to me. Just mention it to her. Alright, first thing tomorrow, I'll speak to her. Good. A cacophony from the door heralds the return of Shizune. I guess she can't really tell how much noise she is making. Misha isn't that smart, but she is actually very kind. Oh yeah, no, you can tell she's a good girl. She's a good girl. She just likes to tease people, which is, you know, fine. Oh, Shi-chan, you're back! Shizune appears, completely laden with goods from the convenience store. Orangey! Hayamis! Hello! Unlike Shizune. They fourth wall breaking? No, no fourth wall breaking here. I think. Maybe. There totally could be a fourth wall break, and I would just be too stupid to get it. Because I'm just like that. Anyway. Give us your best fire heat burn chip. No, Hayami, don't listen to them. They're awful. They're just the worst today. There was some surplus left from the festival. Since this is officially festival business, I've splurged a little. Nice idea, Shi-chan. 10 points. Is that really allowed? For someone who refuses to join us, you seem to take an unhealthy interest in the politics of this council. I like how they both... No, they didn't sign any words between each other. They just picked up on each other. France. Good burn. I shall punish your insolence by rationing your portion of the feast. Fine, I get it. Misha slides the multiple stacks of paper to one side to make room for the avalanche of food Shizune is spreading out. As I watch my hard yet misdirected work become wasted, I realize that it's little wonder why these two need help. The convenience store meal isn't overly tasty, but at the very least, it's filling. Thanks for helping today. Most of the time, we just make up the reports for the staff. These two rounds, this round's gonna be great. This year, we can at least make up some relevant headings on the debrief. Are you sure this isn't a corrupt organization? Not at all, not at all. We're by the book. It's not our fault if the book isn't specific enough. I thought that was the definition of corruption. You think too much. You know what? You're probably right. Anyway, I gotta go. That is, if I'm allowed to leave. Your work has been deemed sufficient. You may leave. Well, thank you. You know, if you stress the free meal side of things over the endless workload side, you'd probably end up with more recruits. You might just have a point. The music cuts out on that. Well, think about it. And think about what we talked about. You don't have to tell that to Shizune if you don't want. Oh, his sound, that's so mean. He said she can't hear him. I mean, maybe she read his lips and figured out what he said, but damn. What? Oh, right. I'll try to see her tomorrow. Good night, Nichan. Night, Misha. Shizune. Chirping birds. Normally, this would be a good time to reflect upon the beauty of nature. But it is 6 a.m. Covering my head with a pillow, I slam my face into the mattress, hoping that the impact will instantly send me back to sleep. Futile. I toss and I turn, but sleep simply won't return to me. All right, nature, you've won. See? I'm getting up now. The lack of sleep weighs my mind down, and there's only one remedy for this. A nice, hearty breakfast. It would be nice to be the first person here. To be the first to take into a piping hot pile of food, to sit wherever I desire. It would have been nice. But even my exceptionally early start has put me behind the most diligent students. I guess there are quite a few people that have early starts here, for one reason or another. A group of students in sports clothes huddle around one table, eagerly discussing game plans in between inhaling great gulps of food. Scattered around the hall are a number of bleary-eyed students, probably suffering from the same ailment as myself, noisy birds. And of course, there are the people that actually enjoy getting up this early, the ones with their bags stuffed with textbooks and completed homework. It's hard not to despise people like that, even more so when you're tired yourself. Picking out a familiar face from the thin crowd, I head towards the nearest table. Lily sits alone, delicately feeling her way around a small plate of eggs with her fork. It's almost a shame to interrupt her in her clockwork movements. I wonder, is this how a blind person zones out? Simply moving in predetermined patterns learned over the years, just like how a sighted person would eat while reading a newspaper? Good morning, Lily. I didn't expect you to be here this early. Oh, Isao, you startled me. I didn't know you took breakfast this early. I know. This is an exception to the rule. I'd greatly prefer to be late to school than early to breakfast. Lily gives a small sigh at my admitted tardiness as I begin eating my food. Man, wait a second, I thought you hated waking up early too. What are you doing awake? It doesn't take long for her to lapse back into her previous mindless nibbling. Each short motion lacks energy. I suppose this is similar to letting your eyes wander while performing any ordinary chore. But after a few repetitions of the food/fine eat food cycle, wait, fine eat? Where did that word even come from? Let's start over from the beginning. But after a few repetitions of the find food/eat food cycle, Lily puts down her fork and dabs her lips with a napkin. Isao, do you mind if I ask you a question? Damn, all I want is a little food and about 4 hours of sleep. And nobody says, can I ask you a question for a simple question? Sure. Do you think of Hanako
Language is fun and easy.
Do you think of Hanako as a friend? Huh? This seems like a leading question. I guess so. Why do you ask? No real reason. I do have another question, though. Why is it that you think of her as a friend? Oh, dude, I just woke up. I want to be asleep. You can't be asking me these questions at 6 a.m. This is well above my level. What is she expecting from me? I'm not really sure. I guess it's because she's a little different in the way she deals with people. Since I've known her, she hasn't really connected with anyone. She doesn't seem interested in other people, and I think people are a little scared off by her appearance. Really? I thought that kind of thing was, well, discouraged here. Discriminating and such. If I were to put it one way... She furrows her brow in thought, a move which makes me slightly anxious as to what she's plucking from her mind.
This time it's Lily applying friction that can generate fire.
I'd say that you're a little naive. Naive? I'd be insulted if not for the slightly cynical grin on her face. I see. While Yamako has a stronger sense of community compared to other schools, it's far from being free of conflict. Rules cannot remove human nature, after all, only suppress it. That's something I've noticed, actually. Just little things, like how certain people and cliques avoid each other in the hallways. It's no different from my old school, really. Even Lily and Shizune could be considered bitter rivals, even though they both seem like fairly accepting people. Well, at least the Misha-tinted Shizune does. Who knows what actually goes on with her fingers and behind her glasses. Hi, Lost Station, welcome. Welcome to Katawa Shoujo. You're, I don't know if you've ever played this before, but if you haven't, you're gonna be kind of lost for a while, probably. Because we're right in the middle of a route.
Community has multiple meanings like community beds.
Oh my god, dude. Nope, never heard of it. Well, oh boy, you're in for a treat. It's a visual novel made back in... when was it? Was it 2012? I don't remember what year it came out. It was made by a whole bunch of dudes who met each other and got together on 4chan of all places and created... They saw some artwork some Japanese artists made of a bunch of disabled girls, and then they created an entire visual novel based around those designs. And here we are. So Katawa Shoujo is a dating sim visual novel game for just dating disabled girls. Today, or the current route we're on, as you can see by the image on the screen, we're doing the Hanako, aka the girl with burn marks on half of her body. Burn scars, that's the word. And we are in Act 2 of 4, so we're right in the middle of it. Don't say way back in 2012, that makes me feel old. I've got some bad news for you, buddy. We're getting there. We're getting up there in age, ain't we? Anyway, I guess you're right. When I first came here, everything was a bit of a shock. I kept on making mistakes, or at least thinking I was making mistakes. Like when we first met, and I said I see to you. Shut up, Shadow. I didn't know if that was considered rude or anything, so I tried to just put it in the back of my mind, treating people any differently and that kind of thing. So I didn't. I told myself that Hanako and you and everyone else was just normal, and I tried to ignore the obvious. I talked to Hanako as if she were any other person, and so we became friends. At least, that's how I think it happened. But you know, I feel guilty just for saying something like that aloud. As if it took extra effort to think of Hanako, or you, or anyone here as normal people. I don't think that's right. Isao, I think you are naive. But I also think that you're a good person. It is perhaps one of your better traits. What is that supposed to mean, Lily? What do you mean? I woke up at 6 a.m. The birds woke me up and I'm getting bullied by Lily. What the hell? What the hell, Lily? I suppose I can take that as a compliment. Tell me, are you free tonight? If you don't count homework, then I'm as free as the breeze. In that case, would you care to join myself and Hanako for tea? I don't really have that much money at the moment, so going out isn't really... Oh, I didn't mean going out. Just here, this evening. You can access the classrooms in the evening here? No, that's not what I meant. Hanako and I often use my room.
Lily wants the 3?
Shut up! No! That's not what I meant. Hanako and I often use my room for tea parties together. Please feel free to drop by after dusk. Sure, I see no problem with that. I'm surprised he's not overthinking this already. What's your room number? 225, room 25 on the 2nd floor. Okay, sure. The Nintendo was released in 2005. The Nintendo. Well then. Oh, shit, wrong voice. Well then, I had best be off. I have class representative duties to attend to, after all. I had a horrible joke for this, but I don't want to say it. I don't know if any joke that you could say at this point is going to be any worse than what everybody else has already been saying. Chad's pretty awful with this game. Until this evening, Isao. Yeah, catch you later. Hang on. Was I just invited? Okay, now he figured it out. Was I just invited to a girl's room after hours? Is that even allowed? You sure? Because I'll say it if you think it's okay for me to. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. Just, you know, if it includes a word that YouTube wouldn't like, don't say it. But otherwise, it's probably fine.
You can say chat is on fire.
There was the curfew here, but I've never heard any rules about visitors in the dorm rooms. Even still, this is enough to get my sleep-deprived brain jump-started. Not that till you lukewarm breakfast and you have one hell of a pick-me-up. I grudgingly go to class, still a little excited at the prospect of breaking the rules. I feel like a little kid planning to sneak out of his window at night. Well, maybe that's going a little too far, but when you compare an invitation to a party to 6 or so hours of lectures, I know which one wins. Industrially. Oh my God. Doesn't say any no words, but it's extremely 18 plus. As long as you don't use any excessively explicit words, it's probably fine. Misha and Suzune do little to relieve my boredom either. For once, they seem determined to actually complete Muto's assignments. Nevertheless, the day eventually winds to a close. I hurry back to my room and wash up and comb my hair. Thankfully, I don't run into Kenji. Does it contain a no? Before long, I am leaving the boys' dorm. I nervously rap on the door marked 225, checking my watch once again. Is that you, Hisao? The door is open. You can come in. Lily's voice lilts through the door and soothes my nerves. This is the first time I've been invited to a girl's room after dark. Burn out now. Even though I know there's no ulterior motive behind this invitation, it doesn't stop my mind running wild with possibilities. One guy, 2 girls, in a dorm room with a tea set? When I put it like that, it sounds a little dodgy. I apologize in advance. You think she's into wax play? Oh, that's actually pretty tame. That's pretty... Actually, yeah, that's actually pretty normal for what the rest of chat's been saying, so no, that's fine.
2 girls, 1 tea set.
Yeah, that was probably a 2 girls, 1 cup joke. You're right. Oh, God. I'm gonna have to horny bell that. Giving a small sigh to steady myself, I gingerly put my hand on the handle and open the door, craning my head to see inside. And it's gonna be this artwork that we've seen already! They used this in the Lily route, which we already did. The door opens completely and I catch my first glimpse of Lily's room. Jesus Christ, you guys have been that bad. Yes, they have! It's just one thing after the other with these guys. Our furniture looks almost antique, but the bare walls and flat surfaces are barely decorated at all. In the center of the room sits a low table where I see a small tea set at rest. It seems that everything in this room has its place, possibly excepting the several piles of books stacked up against the wall. My sense of vision isn't the only one to be stimulated. The faint smell of something can be picked up on the air. Nail polish, perfume, makeup. It's hard to describe in any way other than girly. I only went to play Nier Automata 7 months ago, and you guys turned into degenerates. I think they've always been degenerates. They're just letting it show more now. There's no saving them. They're beyond saving. All we can do is ring the horny bell and bonk them on the head to punish them for their sins. My eyes finish their quick sweep of the room before returning their position onto the girls. Lily sits next to the small table, wearing very dark blue pajamas. Dark blue pajamas with shorts that show off plenty of her alluring pale legs. Opposite her, Hanako sits adorned in a conservative light pink gown. Her hands are firmly fixed between her legs and her shoulders forward, and her head down as if trying to hide herself in it. We can be saved by purging us with fire, just like how Hanako would do in love. Oh my god.
We already burning in hell. Too much heat for Hanako.
It would be easy for her to do. It looks about 2 sizes too big for her. Waves of flannel flow from her frame, making her look like a child playing dress-up in her parents' clothes. She looks up to confirm my identity, and the beginnings of a thin smile creep across her face, before vanishing so fast that I can't be sure they were ever there. There's no point in you standing in the doorway, Hisao. I take a step into the room, closing the door behind me. My, I'm afraid this really is a small room for the 3 of us. Would you like to take a seat? I slowly walk to the table and sit down, trying my hardest not to disturb anything along the way. I also can't help but steal a quick glance into Lily's top as I sit. Oh my god, dude, I thought this was Hanako's route. Why you been perving so much on Lily? You're looking at her legs, you're looking at a YouTube word. How dare you?
What about Hanako's favorite heroic figure? I think it would be Joan of Arc. I heard she really liked fire in the end.
Thank you for the ring. Ay, ay, ay. To be robbed of sight would be a most terrible fate. Oh my god. Isao, you pervert. Well now, how about some tea? Hanako, could you please pour? Sure, Isao, would you, how would you, if you were to, would you like? I would love some tea. Do you need a hand? No, I'm fine. Thank you. Lily finds it difficult to resist the smile at her companion's nervousness, something I can't really blame her for. Been a tiring day? Yeah. I relax at my place, opposite of the cabinet. To my left is the blue-clad Lily, and to my right sits the pink Hanako. The tea set on the table looks cute as well as practical, painted red with a floral motif. It looks odd when contrasted with Lily's plain but generally sophisticated-looking furniture, which leads me to think that Hanako might have picked it out. There's a slight ting when Hanako accidentally clips the teapot on a cup as she is pouring. She breathes in sharply. She must be really nervous, as it's not the kind of thing anyone would worry about. You guys think Hanako covers her eye because she has dark ancient magic powers? She looks like she'd cast the spell. I would support Hanako being secretly a spellcaster. I know what her best spell would be. Fireball. Hanako quivers at her mistake. It's okay, Hanako. There's no need to be nervous. Hanako seems to find some confidence in Lily's reassuringly soft-spoken words and deftly pours the next 2 cups. Here you are, Isao, Lily. Hanako carefully places a cup and saucer in front of Lily and myself. I could get used to service like this. Thank you, Hanako. Yeah, thanks. You're welcome. Lily searches for her cup, and upon finding it, sips delicately. I do the same. This tea tastes somewhat better than the tea we usually have at school. This is nice. It's so different from any tea I've had before.
This tea party is really heating up to a boil.
I know Hanako is hot. Looks like you picked the right one, Hanako. You know, when I got the Fires of Raven ending in I almost said Assassin's Creed 6, in Armored Core 6, I didn't think any Rubiconians would have survived. But look at Hanako. Miracle. You've done well, even if it was a bold move. Hanako's smile returns, redoubled. Even with her blighted face, her shy smile couldn't be called anything but cute. I'm glad you like it. I know most of y'all didn't say so, but damn. My chat's the worst. My chat's the worst, ain't they? Hanako, finally beginning to relax, sips from her cup. I think back to my chat with Misha the other day. Is Hanako's behavior something to be concerned about, or is she just shy? And then there was Lily earlier this morning. The concern from both of them seemed to be genuine, and they know the situation better than I. But really, how could I possibly help? I'm no plastic surgeon, so I can't really help her appearance, nor am I a psychologist who can make her more sociable. So what the hell do Lily and Misha want me to do? They want you to... It's frustrating Hanako and I are quickly becoming friends on our own accord, and because of that, it's like everyone wants me to solve all her problems. I have no idea how to do that. No one can cure my heart, nor Lily's eyes, nor anyone who is here in the school. However, I see no harm in becoming better friends with Hanako. Now that she's warming up to me, I kind of enjoy hanging out with her. So, Hisao, are you enjoying yourself? Lily's words break me out of my reverie, and I take a second to reconsider where I am. I'm in a room with two girls in their bedclothes.
Hisao is blinder than Lily.
This is something to be enjoyed. Yeah, it's relaxing. Almost like I'm not in the school anymore. Do you do this often? Quite often, but not as often as we take tea in the school building. Considering they do that nearly every day, that's not a big surprise. As I move to take another sip from my teacup, I find it sadly empty. That was delicious. Thank you, Hanako. Lily? You're welcome. Yes, you're most welcome, Hisao. It's nice to have a third person here. Well, anytime you need someone to fill that position, I'm always available. Always. One must be sure to get one's point across in these circumstances. Yes, indeed. Lily lets loose a yawn, which she unsuccessfully hides with her hand. Pardon me, I think I'm a little tired. Disappointed that Ori didn't read my fire joke. I think Hanako would love to get... I don't even need to finish reading that. I don't even need to finish that. I think we're all a little tired. My, how astute we are tonight, Hanako. We really should head to bed. We all have class tomorrow. Yeah, I should go. Thank you for your presence, Hisao. Thanks. You'll come again? Not even a whole army could stop me. Oh, Hisao, you smooth talker, you. I'm impressed by your determination, Hisao. Either way, you're right. Well, we'd best get going. I stand up and make for the door. Hanako gingerly stands up behind me. I stop and face her. Are you coming with me? Hanako instantly blossoms into full blush. No, not this room isn't... It's okay, I was only joking. Oh, okay. Good night. Good night, Hanako. Good night, Hisao. Night all. And with that, our tea party finishes. I'm still not sure what it is that Lily wants me to do for Hanako, but I don't want to let her down. She wants you to be Hanako's friend! That's all! That's really all she wants. Hanako really heated up there. I wait until the door is closed behind us before turning to Hanako. Hey, Hanako, you don't have to be nervous around me or anything. You don't have to bring attention to it either! You can tell Hisao has the potential to be a sociopath. Don't we all? Don't answer that. I mean, we're friends, right? Right, we're friends. If you ever want to hang out or anything, just let me know. We still need to have that chess rematch, remember? Sure. But I don't think you'll win. It wouldn't be any fun if it was easy. Hanako seems to give a muted laugh, but she could have just as easily been exhaling. Good night, Hisao. With that, Hanako quickly retreats into her room, located next to Lily's. I start to walk back to my dorm, but the simple act of walking seems to drain me of my energy. I barely make it to my room before I'm hit by a wave of exhaustion. I kick off my shoes, fall into bed, and fall asleep by the time my head hits the pillow. My man is zoinked out, holy moly.
Hisao wants to smash the queen in a heated chess match.
Oh god, I thought of a joke that I'm actually not going to say, because it's just that no. And if I find one of you goobers said it, I'm gonna lose it. Don't give them any ideas. I can't wait for the fish moment. You could say we'll get some grilled fish then. Oh my god. Why do I have a feeling we're gonna... It's been too long. It's been way too long. We're gonna have a Kenji scene right now. I can just feel it. I can feel Kenji coming on. I pull my door closed, ready for another day of classes. God! My intuition is way too good. Sleep well? Kenji's sudden arrival makes me jump, and I narrowly avoid butting heads with him. I know he has poor eyesight, but he knows who I am now. Does he still have to stand this close? Oh, yeah, like a baby.
Damn, why do people always say that? Have you ever heard a baby sleep? They scream all night, every night. Babies don't sleep well, ever.
Well, there goes my restful state. I have to remember to never use figures of speech with Kenji. Alright, I get your point. It was a figure of speech.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Where were you last night? I had a favor to ask you, but you weren't around.
For a split second, I considered telling Kenji the truth, that I was spending time with Hanako and Lily. Thankfully, that split second passes as soon as it came. I was just out, checking out the local area and stuff. You know, recon.
Good man, good. I knew you were the type to plan ahead.
Anyway, what was that favor you wanted?
I was going to get some takeout, but I needed change.
Wait, what? I gave you money last week and you still haven't paid me back.
And I was starting to think you were cool.
Kenji fishes around in his pocket and produces his wallet. As he counts out the 400 yen he owes me, I can clearly see that he has at least two 10,000 yen notes. Hey, what the hell? Why are you borrowing money off me when you've got that much cash? Kenji hisses a little, realizing that he's been had.
Get off my case, man. It's bad luck to break a big note for anything less than half its value. It's the tycoon's rule. Last night's dinner is gonna cost me 7 years of bad luck. 7 years! Don't you think that's enough to help someone out? You get a shorter sentence if I just stole the stuff.
My common sense screams at me to say something to him, but thankfully I restrain myself. Arguing a point like this with Kenji will just lead to further and more complicated discussions. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe you should plan these things a little bit better?
Yeah, man, I know. But I've just got so much stuff to do, it's hard. And you're never around anymore, so I'm on my own. We're supposed to be brothers in brotherhood, remember?
Yeah, I get you. Global conspiracy and such, sure. I'll keep my ear to the ground. Kenji draws close enough for me to get a clear whiff of his garlic-tainted breath.
You'd better, man. You're already spending less time here. That's the first thing they do. They'll try to split us up, divide and conquer. Sun Tzu said that. And I'd say he knows a little more about planning a resistance than you do, pal.
Roger that. Now I've got to be going. I've got classes. You coming?
Nah, I'm tired. I stayed up all night just to make sure nothing was going to happen after splitting that note.
As rational as ever, I see.
Whatever. Night.
Kenji scurries back into his room, but I hear him throwing his locks as I walk down the hallway.
I've got a job for you, 621. I need you to pick up my DoorDash.
That is why some people can't roll their tongue, or why their second toe is longer than their big toe. Is my second toe longer than my big toe? I figured this out a while ago. No, about the same length. If a little shorter. Okay, good to know. Muto beams a half-moon smile at us, obviously proud of his explanation of recessive genes. However, no matter how impressed he is at the science that defines who we are, the classroom seems to be reduced to a stupor. Why is it that a bad exclamation can make even the most interesting things seem worthless?
What about the size of carrots?
Nothing about the size of carrot. I'm gonna beat you with a stick. I can see Muto deflate as he realizes that nothing he said in the past half hour has sunk in. Whispered conversations start to break the silence, and like an avalanche, the noise level in the class starts to rise. Defeated, Muto identifies some questions from the textbook and sets to clearing off the blackboard. Almost as if expected, Hanako packs up her things and leaves as soon as people start talking and laughing among themselves. The initial shock of seeing someone play so blatantly truant has started to fade, but it doesn't stop me from wondering. Is she leaving because she doesn't want people to speak to her? Or is it just the thought of people around her shattering her peace? Before I can think about the topic any further, the lunch bell rings. I wonder if she was simply taking the opportunity to leave early. The usual clamor of students exchanging books for lunch reverberates around the room, and while Misha is distracted, I grab my lunch and head out the door. Lily already sits in the tea room, setting out her lunch alone. So, Hanako's not here then? Oh, Isao, how are you? I haven't met Hanako since this morning, I'm afraid. That's right, Hanako and Lily live next to each other. Somehow, I think their morning conversations are slightly more grounded than Kenji's ramblings. That's strange. She left class early, so I figured that she'd come here. So she's still leaving class early. Yeah, I've seen her do it a few times. Lily drops her head a little, and her tone of voice is notably depressed. It's very reminiscent of someone who is used to hearing bad news. I was so sure that she'd stop doing that once you two became friends. Everyone has their own pace, I suppose. Well, I was wondering about just that today. Why exactly does she leave? I'm not entirely sure myself. I personally think it's because she doesn't want to be put in a situation where she has to answer someone. I have a flashback to my first meeting with her, when I thought she looked like a cornered animal. Maybe I wasn't far from the truth. But she seems fine with talking to you, and with me, a bit. It's a little more complex than that. I imagine the first thing most people ask her about is her scars and what happened. She rarely talks about it with me, but I can tell that she doesn't like to remember whatever happened back then. Leaving class and running away from discussions is her preemptive strike, if you will. Huh. So then, how does that explain her talking to me? Probably because you didn't mention the scars at all. You said it yourself. Yeah, exactly. You said it yourself yesterday at breakfast. You tried to ignore her scars. Once you saw that you weren't going to ask her about that, she opened herself up to you. I guess you're right. Maybe. I don't know. You know her better than I, so I'll take your word for it. I wouldn't worry about that. I'm sure you'll come to know her as well as I do soon enough. I welcome the prospect of her having a new friend, and the two of you have such similar interests.
I guess there's heated friction in the relationship right now, poor Hanako.
Well, I hardly count reading as a team sport. It's good to have some company, though. That's my point. Hanako is still an average person at heart. She also wants company at times like that. Huh. I see. I think. To be honest, both of you still confuse me a little. That's only natural, Isao. We've only known each other for a little while. It's unreasonable to expect you to understand us, just as we can't understand you. But that is half the fun of becoming friends, right? Yes it is. Although, I suppose there is the matter of us being opposite genders. Men and women do seem to confuse each other quite often. She says this with a light giggle, finding amusement at the odd details of life. I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to start eating. No, go ahead. I think I'll eat something too. I got some books I want to drop back at the library before classes start, so I'd better get a move on. You'll probably find Hanako there as well. If you do see her, can you tell her to stop by my room later tonight? I'd like to talk to her. You're not coming? Unfortunately, I have a class representatives meeting later, so I'll be gone as soon as I finish my lunch. Okay then.
F is for fire that burns the sky, U is for uranium, N is for no survivors.
F is for fire that burns down the whole town. U is for uranium. YouTube word. I don't know if YouTube would actually care about that word, but N is for no survivors. Sorry. I won't do that again. We fall silent as we start to eat, and I take a second to reflect on our conversation. I've always thought that Hanako's shyness was simply due to her being self-conscious of her scars. But that is a pretty superficial way of looking at her. Just when I thought I was able to see through the fog of Lily and Hanako, I realized that I'm more lost than when I started. You're overthinking it, dude. Don't worry about it so much. Lily quickly finishes her lunch, acutely aware of her meeting. I don't blame her. Shizune is most likely going to be there, and I doubt she wants to give her the satisfaction of another argument. I must be off. Same time tomorrow? Same time, same channel. I better head off too. I don't want to risk being late. Lily smiles gently, picks up her cane, and walks into the hall. I turn my back on Lily as we head in opposite directions. For some reason, I find myself hoping she doesn't get into another fight with Shizune. As much as I like Lily, Shizune and Misha have been pretty instrumental in helping me adjust, even if half of our conversations are thinly veiled recruitment attempts. And again, I barely know either of them. Maybe they were previously leaders of some kind of secret society, but their love for each other drove them apart. Man, I need to stop reading cheap fiction. It's rotting my brain. Either that, or I've got to move away from Kenji and his bad influence. It's sad that I can't tell the two apart anymore. I slide my books down to the return chute and they crash into the cart with a pleasant thud. Yuko, however, doesn't seem as impressed as I. Hisao, you scared me. Sorry, I thought you'd be used to that by now. Or is the literacy level here so low that nobody borrows any books? Huh? No, I think everyone here can read fine. Yeah, never mind. There's some battles that you can never win. Trying to explain jokes is one of them. My dad taught me that the hard way. Say, Yuko, have you seen Hanako about? She left class early, but wasn't in her usual hiding place. Nice. Star's just gonna keep spending and then making back points, so he's at 69. Ay, ay, ay. I think I saw her sneak in before lunch. Oh, but I'm not supposed to tell anyone that. I just told you that I saw her leave. No need to stress out. Oh, of course. She's probably in the back. Thanks. Get any new books in recently? No, sorry. I'll let you know when we do, though. Okay. If there's one thing I know about librarians, part-time or otherwise, it's that they appreciate people who take a genuine interest in their work. That is true. I walk the now familiar path to Hanako's reading nook, picking out a few titles along the way. Sometimes I find it hard to discover a book that will interest me among the shelves. An author's name and a two-word title don't mean much in a sea of similar words. For that reason, I sometimes reread books that I've read in the past. Better to bet on the favorite than a new runner. An unfamiliar title from a familiar author peeks out among the spines of its neighbors, so I remove it from the shelf. At least I'm not going over old material. As expected, Hanako sits on her beanbag, buried deep in a copy of Dance, Dance, Dance.
Hey guys, did you know that in terms of human companionship, Flareon is objectively the most huggable Pokemon? While their maximum temperature is likely too much for most, they are capable of controlling it, so they can set themselves to the perfect temperature for you. Along with that, they have a lot of fluff, making them undeniably incredibly soft to touch. But that's not all, they have a very respectable special defense stat of 110, which means that they are likely very calm and resistant to emotional damage because of this. If you have a bad day, you can vent it while hugging it, and it won't mind. It can make itself even more endearing with moves like Charm and Baby Doll Eyes, ensuring that you never have a prolonged bout of depression ever again. Thank you, Flareon. Who wants to be that beanbag seat?
Swear. Ay, ay, ay. Oh my god. Who wants to be that beanbag? See? Oh my word. Ay, ay, ay. It never ends, even when I leave for a couple. Not even like a couple minutes. That was like 1 minute, maybe. Hi, Hanako. How's it going? I fight back the urge to ask why she left class early. If Lily's suspicions were right, then asking her about that could have the opposite effect. Best to leave it for the time being. Sometimes the best way to get an answer from someone is to never ask the question. Hello, is Sal? I'm fine. Something seems oft. Oft? Off. And after a couple of seconds, I realize what it is. Hanako's smiling. She looks as if she's pleased to see me. It's a nice change from the usual, instinctively frightened reaction, and something I hope I can see more of as we get to know each other better. Good to hear. How's that book? I've heard it's a trip. It's good, I think. I've only just started it, so I don't really know. Fair enough. Let me know how it goes. I may borrow it once you're done. By the way, Flareon is... I think... Are we back? Are we back? Did you miss me saying the thing? Back? I don't joke so bad it broke the stream. I thought the same thing. I was like, wait a second, what's the timing? So did you hear me? Did you hear me say my answer?
The jokes are too heated.
I miss you saying the thing. Oh, that's for the best. Anyway, allow me to repeat myself. Is her favorite Pokemon Glaceon because she needs some ice for that burn? No? Oh. Well, what is it then? It's Slugma. Oh my god. I cannot believe you. I'm gonna give you a single point just so you can never get 69 points ever again. How about that, huh? How do you like them apples, huh? Sure. There's a good 15 minutes left in lunch. Not enough to really get into a book, but too much to stand around doing nothing. Just pretend to read. And Hanako has already returned to her reading, so I doubt I'll get much conversation from her. Oh well, better make myself comfortable. I slouch into a beanbag and crack open my book. The familiar style of the author leaps out at me from the very first line. As the sentences turn into paragraphs, I start to relax a little. And no matter how I try, I can't seem to get myself into the atmosphere of the book. This is partly due to the lack of time, but the more distracting factor is Hanako. Every 10 or so seconds, she peers over the top of her book. But when our eyes meet, she quickly ducks behind the covers. Oh, whoo, you sour boy! Things are getting serious over here. I guess she did want to talk about something after all. Oh, what's up? You look like a prairie dog on lookout. It's nothing. I've told you before, nothing means something when you say it like that. Hanako squirms a little in her beanbag, hoping that by changing her position, she'll find the word she's looking for. I was in an accident. Accident? Just now? Are you all right? Hanako shakes her head, her hair flowing around her shoulders in wisps of amethyst on a background of pale and dark flesh. No, when I was younger. Realization crashes into me like a semi. Kind of like... Oh god, this is in the middle of our lunch break. We're gonna have to go. The bell's gonna interrupt us in the middle of our moment, and we're gonna have to go back to class. We're gonna be all awkward and shit. When I was. It's alright, Hanako. You don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to. Again, she shakes her head. No, I have to tell you. No! No! You can't.
A Siki semi-truck?
You can't have like the start of a tense moment with concerning piano sounding music. And then you shoot this try. Don't laugh at this very serious moment. I can't help it. Oh my god. Oh my god, that fucking killed me. Just like Haniko's parents. Okay, when I was young, I was in a fire. My house burned down, and I nearly didn't make it. Oh my god. After that, I was alone. Hanako's eyes glisten in the dim light of the library, and I reach out to grasp her hand. Hand holding. It's okay, Hanako. You don't have to keep going. But I have to. Why? What brought this on? Last night, Lily told me about your heart. And I didn't think it was fair. Fair? That I knew about you, but you didn't know about me. I squeeze Hanako's hand a little. Don't be silly. But yes, I have a heart condition. I lean a little closer to Hanako. What I didn't tell Lily is that I had my first heart attack when a girl confessed to me. I smile a little to break the tension. Really? Really? I haven't heard from her for a while, though, so I guess it's all over. I know, it's all over. There's no other way to interpret what happened the last time I saw her. In some ways, not having heard from her again has helped me move on from that period of my life. So now, we both know a little more about each other. But you don't have to talk about things if you don't want to. In fact, I feel a little bad even thinking about that whole incident. I can almost smell the hospital's disinfectant burning the back of my sinuses again. I imagine Hanako is going through the same thing now. When I was in the hospital, I went to the burn ward once, and only once. I was bored, so I went for a walk through all of the wards. I went through an oncology and thought I could take it. But when I got to the burn ward, I turned around and went back to my bed. To think that Hanako would have spent months in a place like that, smelling nothing but corrupted skin, strong disinfectant, and sterilized air. The really bad cases were kept in isolated pods that no foreign object could enter. That would have meant no reading. I would have gone insane if I didn't have my books in the hospital. And she said she was alone. Did her parents die? I'll have to ask Lily about it. I can imagine myself saying something dumb unintentionally. Thank you, Hisao. I haven't told many people about this. To be honest, I haven't told many people about my circumstances either. Then I won't tell anyone either. Deal. I changed my grip on Hanako's hand into a handshake as the warning bell chimes through the window. Well then, we'd better head back to class then, eh? Sure. You gotta meet her with a firm handshake there, Shunny. Shunny boy. Oh, that's Act 2. Oh, wow. That was actually really fast. Well, shit. Might as well keep going. Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. I don't remember getting here. Where are we? The tint of the room slowly changes from the shine of the afternoon to the orange of dusk. A clock lazily ticks away the seconds, counting in the background on the verge of hearing. But no matter how long I wait, the outcome cannot be changed. The diminutive playing piece makes a small click against the board. Like a wound spring, like a wound spring, Hanako makes her move only moments after mine. It's embarrassing. In comparison to my 5-minute moves, she seems to know exactly what she wants to do. Well, in her defense, if you're taking 5 minutes, that means she has 5 minutes to consider what you're gonna do as well. Mate. Again! What does that make this? 3-2? Stalemates don't count. Damn, you're getting better at this every day. That, or she's been holding back. I'd never have thought it when I first met her, but she really has a knack for this game. Chess seems to become a popular pastime for the two of us, hiding away in the tea room, playing a game or two after classes. From here, the students outside can just barely be heard milling about. The everyday noises from below remind me a little of my life before Yamaku, though I'm by now well aware that it's a life I'll never get back to. My headphones are dying, my phone is dying. Oh no!
Who is smashing who in chess?
Hanako is just wrecking our shit in chess. Fancy another game? I have to finish my homework. Oh, well, I'll see you tomorrow then. But what about this? Hanako points to the tea sets surrounding the mostly empty chessboard. Don't worry about that. I've got it. Oh, okay. See you later. Hanako departs as I start cleaning up the area. The occasional whistles and cheers from the sporting clubs outside become less frequent, eventually approaching silence. A part of me still wants to be in some kind of team. Since I played soccer and other sports before my accident, I guess it's only normal to feel nostalgic about what I can't do anymore. But I have other reasons than that for coming here so often, and I don't feel so bad about losing that part of myself because of them. Lily is a good friend by now, but it's the small exchanges I have with Hanako that feel especially dear. The small victories I feel every day as I see more of what she's like under her self-imposed shell. That's why I come here most of all. As I'm putting away cups and saucers, I hear talking outside the door. Pausing for a moment to listen, I can make out that it's Hanako and Lily. I decide to go outside to investigate. Are you quite sure? I'm sure. Hisao. Oh, sorry. Hisao. Hanako turns to see me with a look of mild surprise as she notices my approach. Lily must have caught her just as she was about to leave. Oh my, Hisao is here as well? Afternoon, Lily. What's up? I was hoping, now that I've finished with my class representative duties for the day, that I might have the two of you accompany me for tea at the Shanghai. It would be nice to enjoy ourselves outside of the school for a change. Stop saying 3 anytime Hanako and Lily are on screen. Every time, it's like clockwork with you. God damn it. I'd be up for it. I think Hanako had work to do, though. It's not all that much. Wonderful. It seems that we're decided, then. Hanako wants to hang out with her friends. That's all. Don't worry. Don't stress, dude. I cast my eyes across the cafe as the three of us step in. As usual, there are only a handful of people around at most, and the noise level is a quiet background hum. The hold Lily has on Hanako's arm remains just as it has been for the entire slow walk down the hill to the local town, though it's hard to say for which reason, for Lily's guidance or for Hanako's reassurance. For a moment, Lily removes her arm from Hanako's to retract her cane as Yuko quickly skitters over to where we stand, but soon replaces it right back where it had been. Welcome to the Shanghai. May I take your order? She
What
gives
gives a number so much power like 411?
400. 4. Am I just stupid? It sounds familiar though. I mean, I am just stupid, but like that's besides the point. I don't get it. I don't get it. 3. I'm gonna, my stupidity aside, we're gonna just move on. She gives a deep bow, a well-delivered and professional introduction, putting her in a good mood. It's a nice change from the norm for Yuka. Just tea, please. Hanako, peace out. I'll have a slice of pie and a coffee. Just tea, please. Coming right up. Please take any seat you wish, and I'll be back shortly. The temp of burning. Oh. Yuko gives a smile and a nod before shuffling to the counter, and we make our way to some empty seats by the window in quick measure. We slip into our seats, the girls on one side with Lily's cane propped up beside them, and I on the other. I realize that Hanako's not doing something that she so often does. Rather than keeping her eyes pinned to the ground and hiding behind her blind escort, busily trying to convince herself that the world around them does not exist, she's merely keeping her eyes low and helping Lily around. Are you okay, Lily? You look tired. She lowers her head a little, looking somewhat embarrassed that she let it show. I'm trying to think. This would have been around the time that she got news that she has to go back to Scotland. So this is probably going to be this...
No hot coffee mods?
So this is probably going to be around the time where she tells Hisao and Hanako that she has to leave for a while. And that also means the anniversary of Hanako's accident is going to come up. So this is going to get interesting. Class representative work can be very tiring. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just overthinking things. Considering that it often means dealing with the student council. Very tiring indeed. Actually, it just occurred to me, why does Hanako have more hair on her right side than her left? I'm going to give you one guess. Why do you think she styles her hair this way? What possible reason could she have to style her hair in this way? There. No, I mean her hair at all. Shouldn't it have, burned? I mean, maybe. Probably. I'm not too familiar with how burns work on hair, but if it can grow back, I don't see why. I'd say, I guess it would have to depend on how she got burned and where exactly she got burned. How do the other representatives go? Better than I, but not by much. Shizune is a harsh taskmaster no matter whom she deals with. Can we play Blue's Clues to find out? It doesn't sound like you particularly relish the job. Why do you do it in the first place if it's that bad? Being a class representative is enjoyable, and I can deal with the responsibility well enough. It's just that the people involved are sometimes... Hair is technically head excrement, so I guess it would eventually go back. It depends on how the burn, how the burn heals, that's the word. It's possible, I guess, that it could heal over where the hair would normally come out of. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with burns, and I don't think I want to be. I think I'm just gonna let that mystery, you know, I'm just gonna let that sleeping dog lie there, you know? I'm not gonna poke it. She trails off, cutting her words at a rather opportune spot. It's hard to imagine Lily cursing, but I imagine that if anyone could make her do it, it would be Shizune. Hanako looks to be withering a bit in the light of such conflict, but before I can steer the topic away a little, she stands up. Hanako? I'll be back in a bit. With that, she leaves for the restrooms. I suppose that's one way to deal with the situation, if that was indeed her motivation. Lily, however, looks a little wounded. Don't worry about it. I don't think it was you. But I think she's been getting stronger recently. You've seen it yourself, right? That went a bit awry. Fortunately, Lily doesn't look offended. By now, I really shouldn't be quite so scared of stepping on that landmine around her. Possibly. Sometimes I find it hard to tell, though. Silence reigns for a moment before 2 teacups, a pie, and a mug of steaming coffee appear in front of us. I notice that Yuko takes special care to place the teacup against the tip of Lily's fingers, letting her know where it is. Here you go. Thanks, Yuko. Thank you. With a quick and silent bow, the bespectacled waitress takes her leave. Ah, that's right. I was meaning to ask you something, and now would be the right time to do so. I'm all ears. Hanako's birthday is coming up, and I was hoping that you might have come. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't Hanako's birthday come up really fast in Lily's route? Huh. It's hard to get a it's hard to get a gauge of how time is passing in this game. I suppose if that's one area where it could be improved in introducing, I don't want to say a calendar system, but at least introducing what day it is would help a lot with that. Because, like, Hanako's birthday, I swear I remember Hanako's birthday was like an Act 2 thing in Lily's route.
Get Hanako air fryer.
Fuck, that actually wouldn't be terrible. She likes cooking. And there you go, you got an air fryer. Fuck it, let's get Hanako an air fryer. I don't give a Hanako's birthday's coming up, and I was hoping that you might accompany me for presents shopping in the city this weekend. An air fryer for a person who cooks is just insulting. No, you can do good things with air fryers. I guess it depends on how much cooking you do. She's also, don't forget, she's also still a kid. Hanako's birthday is soon. I suppose it would be a nice chance to cheer her up a bit. Like Yuko, she always seems to be teetering on the edge of either panic or depression, and I've never seen her enjoy herself much outside of our chess games. You clearly don't know that. All that aside, learning the layout of the city better with a friend keeping me company sounds like a good way to spend a weekend. Sure, I'd be happy to. Have you got any plans for to do for her birthday? A party or anything? Hanako being Hanako, perhaps a low-key affair would be... Lily suddenly cuts herself short, leaving me to wonder why as she brings her teacup to her lips and begins to sip. We should offer Hanako some very hot spices. Well, if we get... We'll probably end up getting the same gift we did in Lily's route, which was a little antique doll, which is a very cute gift. Or maybe we'll get something else, who knows. After a few seconds, I notice Hanako walking up to us over her shoulder. Lily's hearing must be very good indeed if it was the sound of the restroom door opening that tipped her off. Hanako takes her seat once again and wastes no time in drinking her tea. Soon the three of us are quietly eating and drinking as the sun sets. How about a weekend retreat for 3? Oh, just you wait, Wing of Shu, that actually, like, kind of happened. I swear to God, every single time there's 3 people on screen, you just say 3. Or 2 people on screen, you say 3. Hanako takes a seat once again. Oh wait, I already read this. It's a nice way to spend the remainder of the day's light, and it makes me appreciate the quiet and serene surroundings of Yamaku. I think I'm really beginning to like life here, as isolated as it may be. I finish off the last of my coffee and rest the mug on the table while the girls talk between themselves. The coffee's here a little bitter for my taste, but still quite good. Better than what I can make for myself, in any case. The girls' discussion is mainly focused on their respective reading preferences, which does give me a little curiosity about a related topic. What's wrong with the number 3? You know what you know what you are. Hey Hanako, I was just wondering, aside from the chess and reading, do you have any hobbies or things you like doing? She's completely stopped in her tracks, looking quite surprised that anyone would be interested in asking such a question about her. It takes her a little time to formulate a response. I guess I like singing a little. I'm okay with computers as well, but I don't use them all that much. Singing's not exactly something I expected to hear. It's hard to imagine her singing voice, given how soft-spoken she is. Lily, on the other hand, simply nods. She must already know all this, since she's been friends with Hanako for 1 year or so by now. What about you? Me?
Oh shit, I didn't think of this.
She hesitates before quickly flicking her head up and down. It's only logical that she'd want me to talk about my hobbies after she's told me hers. There's chess, obviously, but also... There was soccer as well, though I can't really do that anymore. Reading, which I picked up in the hospital, This is surprisingly hard. Lily and Hanako look a little put off by the direction this is taking, and the more I think about it, the more I am, too. It sounds as if you picked up quite a few things since your accident. Lily's candor is coated with probably the most positive spin one could put on what I said. Hanako, however, is silent. If a situation becomes difficult, her reaction always seems to be withdrawing into silence in order to prevent things from getting worse.
Considering when the game came out, does she burn CDs to make custom playlists?
Oh my... Ay, ay, ay. That, or physically retreating. A soft ringing gives us pause. As Lily reaches into her pocket, it becomes obvious that the sound's coming from her phone. Oh wait, this... I'm pretty sure that's actually the phone call about the Scotland stuff. Actually, no, it happens
girls
on
like
the birthday
men?
thing. What? Where did that come from? I didn't mean to press enter. Hey, Ami, I've got some bad news for you. Hey, Ami. This is a dating sim. And we already did Lily's route, and now we're doing Hanako's route. So you know what that means? Means the answer is yes. Sorry. It's okay. Lily gives a quick nod before shuffling out of her seat and taking the call a little distance away to just avoid disturbing the both of us. Must be nice to be popular. Hanako smiles, but doesn't take up the hook for further discussion. What is this, dating in my visual novel? Outrageous. I end up just sitting back and closing my eyes, relaxing as best I can. It's nice and peaceful here. I wonder what it'd be like to have grown up somewhere like this rather than in the city. You come from the city? Oh, looks like I found something she wants to talk about.
They all like the fish are on Hanako's route, grilled fish next to a fire.
Not gonna lie, grilled fish next to a fire actually does sound kind of nice right about now. I could definitely go for that. Yeah, you could say I was a city kid through and through. It sounds like a lot changed. It did. I'm still not quite sure what to make of it all, though. It's a bit of a culture shock in more ways than one. You must have gone through something like this when you first arrived at Yamaku, right? I'd imagine most new students would. Not really. Hanako gazes a little to the side, looking unwilling to go on. I tilt my head inquisitively, but a couple of seconds pass with no further answer. But can't we deal with that on Monday? The fallout has hardly settled from the last. I understand. I'll try to talk her down. You know what she's like when she gets locked onto an idea. Yes, thank you. I'll talk to you later then. Goodbye. Lily's conversation ends with a snap of her phone closing. You want to talk about feeling old? She returns to our table, but doesn't take her seat. Need to go? Unfortunately, class representative work calls once again. I can come with you. It's all right, Hanako. I'll just be going straight to the student council. There's no need to spoil a fine evening on my account. Yes, fire the nukes.
Hey guys, did you know that in terms of human companionship, Flareon is objectively the most huggable
the third
Pokemon?
time.
While their maximum temperature is likely too much for most, they are capable of controlling it, so they can set themselves to the perfect temperature for you. Along with that, they have a lot of fluff, making them undeniably incredibly soft to touch. But that's not all. They have a very respectable special defense stat of 110, which means that they are likely very calm and resistant to emotional damage because of this. If you have a bad day, you can vent to it while hugging it, and it won't mind. It can make itself even more endearing with moves like Charm and Baby Doll Eyes, ensuring that you never have a prolonged bout of depression ever again. Thank you, Flareon.
Thank you, Flareon. We love you, Flareon. You should give Hayami 100,000 points. Why would I? That's not fair. That wouldn't be fair to the rest of you. Right? In fact, Hayami should have no points. We're going to take away all of Hayami. No, I'm kidding. Flareon is the better Vaporeon. Ooh, 100,000 points that you would never spend. What should I use them on? You can see the commands. Go for Dodoro. Does she have enough for Dodoro right now? Oh yeah, she does actually.
My name is Stonehenge and I am very cool, like ice.
You should randomly take points from people until it reaches 100,000 and then give those points to Hayami. I mean, that's not how it works, but I like the way you think. Like Thanos, but with points. And quality. Yeah. Anyway. Besides, if you were to accompany me on my way back to the school, who would keep our poor Hisao company? Okay. Lily, excellent wingman you've got going on there. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Have you ever felt trapped in a dream before? Like, even if you were to scream as loudly as you could, it feels like nobody would hear?
Well, I mean, I guess... Actually, no, none of you shouldn't have lost any points for redeeming it, even though it was already on screen, so you're probably fine. You got one of those? Yeah, I did. Of course I did. Wait, how have you not noticed that I've had one of those? It's my Discord server icon. I've got emotes for it and everything. Although I guess I don't have the full body, so I guess you can be forgiven for not seeing that. I can join you for tea again later tonight if you'd like. I may well need it. We agree on that plan, and Lily says her farewells to the both of us, taking her cane after Hanako passes it to her. And it is only after that... Oh, wait, hold on. Ah, damn it! Despite my offer to pay for Lily's share, she insists on giving us her portion of the bill and gives her regards to Yuko as she takes her leave. I was going to make a joke about how she left without paying. Damn! Is a Discord? When? When did this happen? I wasn't here for 7 months ago. Where's that link? I need to join. Is my link... I think, now that I think about it, didn't someone tell me that my link was inactive? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't have exclamation point Discord because I'm bad. Naomi, you can't just give people 100 points. Sweet to get 100 points. That's 100 points isn't even enough for like anything aside from the horny bell. Yeah, I should have a link to the Discord on my YouTube channel. There's a link tree. There should be a link to the Discord there. Don't worry, I got it. Alright, cool. Got it working. Cool. Anyway. And then, we're alone. It may be all well and good to leave Hanako and me alone to have some time together, but all it typically means is the two of us sitting near each other in silence for a while. I wonder what I must look like to Hanako. I never thought of myself as a scary person, but to have someone my own age acting this way around me makes me intensely self-aware, as if it's my fault that she's so troubled. She might get more used to people if she were to stop being so cloistered in Yamaku. But then again, when even people much older than her react so strongly after a single glance at her face, she may well feel the same way I do now. It's a real catch-22. If she stays in Yamaku, she won't get used to socializing. But if she leaves, any effort she might try would get thrown back at her by the people who can't deal with her scarring. Want to order something else to keep us going? We haven't had much of a dinner after all. Hanako brightens and nods vigorously, glad that I brought up the topic for her. I catch Yuko's gaze, and she dutifully comes over to take our orders. Would you like something else? I'll just have a sandwich special and a hot chocolate. Bit late for coffee by now. Hanako? I'll have the same. Oh my god, stop with the 3! With a nod and a bow, Yuko turns on the ball of her foot and returns behind the counter, where she busies herself fishing out bread and condiments and working the machine to make our drinks. Not a word is said between us until Yuko comes back. She smiles and gives us our food and drinks before moving to a customer who's called for her attention. I give up on the prospect of having much of a conversation with my companion and decide to just enjoy the meal, small as it may be. It tastes nice, as does most of the food here. After having a few mouthfuls, I notice something missing, namely, the sound of Hanako eating. Looking back to her, I see Hanako fidgeting a little behind her untouched sandwich. Not hungry? She shakes her head from side to side. Even as she does, the patch of her hair she keeps over the right side of her face still does its job in hiding it almost entirely. It's not that. Aw, I was all ready to have your share too. You looked troubled. Is something wrong? I'm startled by her thinking that I'm the one who looks troubled. But on second thought, she's probably right. My face may have given away my emotions without me noticing, and she's hardly a dim person. Quite the opposite. We're friends, right? Friends. From the tone of her voice and shrinking posture, it looks as though I've hit yet another landmine. Legit, a hat would do her well. I think in the thumbnail for this video, she is wearing a hat. And, of course, look at me. I'm right there. It's me. I'm right there. She's wearing me. This is another reason why interacting with her is difficult. The self-imposed psychological barriers she puts up between herself and others, including me, and most likely even Lily. It's a shame that... I think that we are. I'm a little taken off guard by Hanako's straightforward answer. All the more so since I was about to give up on getting any reply at all. I see. Am I wrong? Sorry, No, it's just hearing confirmation of that from you is reassuring. To pick up on what you said earlier, since coming to Yamaku, I've been a bit uneasy about how I should relate with others. I find myself chuckling a little. It's surprising how much of a relief that was. I can feel my face smiling as I pick up my cup of hot chocolate and bring it to my lips. Ouch, that's hot. That's why I haven't eaten yet. I was waiting for my drink to cool down first. I guess I'll wait then. The both of us share a little chuckle. The situation isn't really that funny, but for some reason, it feels like laughing is the most natural thing to do right now. I guess we were a bit wound up about each other. I was so busy thinking Hanako was the one with something wrong. It took her to remind me that I was uneasy as well. But be that as it may, it still feels a little nice. A little nice to have someone thinking about me like that, in her own way. You messed up your liar liar pants on fire joke. Ay, ay, ay. Following a long, quiet trudge up the hill and into the school grounds, the two of us find ourselves between the two dormitories. Regular night patrols pass between the male and female dormitory buildings, both for security and to quickly raise the alarm for any medical issues that may arise. The guard currently on duty notices us and gives us a quick nod as he continues on his way. A loud yawn escapes from Hanako's mouth before she has a chance to cover it. I have little doubt she's fairly tired by now. I'd better be off to my room, then. Oh shit! I did the narrator voice, not the Hisa voice. I better be off to my room then. See you tomorrow, Hanako. Good night. We separate and begin to walk our separate ways before I stop and look back. Hanako stands there, waving to me as she smiles. I smile and wave back to her, and after a few seconds, she turns and walks up the stairs to her dormitory building, disappearing through the door. These little moments we share between us feel like a small treasure. One thing is sure, I want to protect that small, delicate smile she so fleetingly wears around so few people. I wonder about these feelings I have when Hanako's around, and when I'm able to do things for her. Whether they may be the seed for something beyond what we share now. We need Art of Hanako in a chicken wing bucket. Oh my god. You fit right in with the rest of them. Oh no. The summertime sun is something to be savored, but when combined with the clean country air, it's all the better. The track and field club members are horsing around on the field ahead. Some are playing with a soccer ball, others are talking, and a few laughs as two of them mock fight with each other. They do say the chat reflects the streamer. I guess that's not wrong. None of them pay me any heed as I sit alone in the grass, underneath the shade of a particularly large tree. It's a nice and peaceful moment after a dreary day of schoolwork. I'm just letting 7 months of missed time out all at once. That's why Orange loves carrots so much. Now! I played soccer pretty often before my heart attack, so I thought it would be really nostalgic to watch them. What I'm feeling now, though, is quite distinct from that emotion. Who the hell are you? You're a new face. I hear footsteps approaching from behind me, and I turn to my side to see one of my classmates taking a seat beside me. I'm taken off guard, as the two of us haven't talked much before, and I didn't think anyone would notice me here. What's up? Hi, Miki. Hey, oh wait, tan tomboy? I wasn't gonna say anything, but I had the same thought. Hi, Miura, wasn't it? Just call me Miki. Surnames are too stuffy. Likewise, then. We both look back out to the field where the guys are playing. Looks like they're getting ready to have a second game, with people spreading out to their positions and the ball being carried at the center of the field. Sure enough, the whistle is blown to begin the match, and they get right back into it. Not gonna play? Nah, just gonna rest for a bit. What about you? You look like you kinda wanted to play when you were watching us before. So someone did notice me after all. It's kind of a long story. Her face says that I've piqued her interest. I'm in Yamaku because I've got a heart condition. I can't really play soccer anymore. Wanted to be a soccer player, did you? No, I only really did it for fun. My friends played it, so I played it as well. Any of those guys playing around? Oh, Why was I reading that as a question? Any of those guys playing around could have been me before my accident, but I don't feel like I have any real wish to go back to that either. It's a little hard to explain. I'm still decently physically fit from the days when I played, even if my strengths largely left me by now. And
Long
I got
carrot story?
And I got on well with the other club members. When I think about it, I should feel pretty bad watching people play when I can't anymore, yet I don't. Maybe it's a good thing. A sign that I've gotten over it and that I'm ready to become a new person. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling. That's cool. I'm actually glad to hear that. Sounds like you really have your stuff together. Some of the people that come to Yamaku are pretty messed up at first. Oh, trust me. You sound certainly something special. So, you remember the track and field club, eh? Yep, been in it since I first arrived. What even is... Never mind. I was gonna say, what is your disability? But then I looked down and then, I kinda noticed it. She's missing her hand. Don't suppose you're friends with Emmy, eh? Short, fast runner, no legs. I don't think there are all that many female track and field members. Emmy, everybody knows about her, don't they? But nah, I tend to get on better with guys, so me and Emmy don't really talk much. Anyway, what about you? Ah, well, I'm not really in any clubs. Real clubs, anyway. You've been hanging around with Hanako and that blonde Amazon, though, right? The blonde Amazon. I like Miki. She's funny. Blonde Amazon. I suppose Lily has the height to fit that description, if nothing else. I nod in response, without making too fine a point of
That's
things.
not a handy situation.
Oh my god. And don't worry about it. As long as you got some friends, you don't need to join a club. A loud whistling from the field attracts our attention. One of the players is on the ground, clutching his leg, and the others stop play to jog up to him, leaving Miki grimacing. Ouch, that looks painful. That guy has really bad luck. As she continues to look out onto the field, I can't help being reminded of her own injuries. Her left arm, ending in a stump rather than a hand, has been bandaged up for the entire time that I've been in Yamaku, and her injury doesn't seem that new. She turns to talk to me again and catches me looking. Both of us sit in awkward silence as she takes her bandaged arm and holds it up in her lap with her other remaining hand. Sorry, I guess I'm still a bit... It's fine, really. Her tone is light, but neither of us says anything afterwards. Every disabled student here has their own way of dealing with their problems, and some finding their conditions troublesome is only natural. I'm included among them, after all. Question for her is, why isn't she using a prosthetic? This is... I guess she doesn't need it? Doesn't want it? I don't know. Why don't you ask her yourself? I'm sure she'll, answer. The injured guy from the soccer game manages to get onto his feet with some help, and ends up hobbling off the field with one arm over the shoulder of another for support. Probably just pulled a muscle if he can still manage to walk. The whistle blows again, and the game continues once more with one less man on the field. Hanging out with Hanako and that blonde girl, they keep some pretty strange company. Want to bet she was a possible route at one point? Actually, I am not too familiar with the production of this game, but no, she was actually never intended to be a possible route. It was only I don't remember if Misha existed. So, like I said earlier, or I think I said earlier, the 5 dateable girls, an artist drew them all, and then the people said we should make a visual novel out of this, and then they did. I don't remember if Misha was originally one of the girls that dude drew, but she was definitely added after the fact. But it was basically those 5 girls were the only ones intended to be dateable. So any characters added after the fact are, as far as I know, completely new. So I don't think she was ever a possible route. Just that Hanako's kind of, I don't know, shy? No, it's not really that. It's just she's got some issues. I think. Can't really put it in a nice way. Not that I don't think she's a nice
What
person,
Star
though.
Wars movie was Mickey in again?
You see, chat. The joke is that in every single, basically every single Star Wars movie, somebody loses a hand. Not that I don't think she's a nice person, though. She's perfectly nice. Just hard to deal with. Sounds like Miki, or at least some other people in the class, have tried to get closer to Hanako in the past, and that it didn't go well. I think her judgment is rather harsh, given that everyone, not just those in Yamaku, have their own issues. Then again, I haven't known Hanako for that long, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was some stuff I didn't know about. I'll just take it as it comes. She's a nice person, and I think that should be all that matters.
Hanako's issued or burned into her.
Miki's eyes narrow a little, and her smile spreads. You really like her, don't you? Miki certainly doesn't mince words. Alright, save. I doubt this matters? Because why would it? Why would... Well... I mean, I'm gonna admit it anyway, but I'm like thinking, like, what if she tries to embarrass her in class or something? But she is my friend, so I'm gonna say, yeah, I like her. To be completely honest, yeah, I do. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell anyone. Hey, whoa, you can trust me. No problems there. Somehow I don't trust that wink. To be honest, I think it's kind of cute. If you want to go for it, don't let me stop you. Thanks. She may say that, but she was just talking about Hanako having issues. Still, I want to hold myself to the words I said. Hanako's problems don't matter. I'll deal with anything that comes up because I want to help her. There's even the smallest possibility that I can pull Hanako out of her depression and seclusion, then I should work towards that, no matter what. If she needs a prince, then I will be that prince. As I think about the possibility of a relationship, I can see Miki grinning at me while watching my face. No doubt blushing and looking away from her only makes her laugh. Miki gives off a different vibe from the other girls. Talking to her feels more like talking to a guy than a woman. Her saying she prefers male company doesn't help to dispel that notion either. Glancing at my watch shows that lunch break is ending in only a few minutes. Time to start heading back to class. Lunch is about to end. Want to head back? Yeah, we'd better. I pick myself up off the grass and dust myself off, offering a hand to Miki to help her up as well. She takes it and easily pulls herself up, showing the muscles moving in her toned, bare arms in the process. Come to think of it, why aren't you wearing the normal girl's blouse? It's too hot, constricting. The boy's uniform is better anyways. She throws her arms around a bit to emphasize her point, which has the side effect of showing off one particular part of her body that would be especially constricted by the blouse. It's the book. The two of us start the walk back to the main building through the gardens, talking as we go. Sounds like you're settling in well. That's a relief. It was pretty surprising to get a transfer student at this point in the year, considering the exams are coming up. Oh, don't remind me. Don't worry about them. Just cram it and you'll be fine. That doesn't sound like good advice. She claps my shoulder a couple times as she grins. I don't think she takes school very seriously. You seem like a smart guy, and Muto's taking to you well already. You're like a hand in a glove. Now to work out whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I still don't know what to make of this school. I've been here a few weeks already, but I still feel dazed at times. You'll get used to it. Just give it some time. It's only a high school, just like any other. She makes it sound so simple, but I've never thought about it that way. To me, Yamaku symbolized a marked shift in my life. I was no longer normal, I was different, and was to be educated with other, different people. And yet, I'm walking back to class and talking casually with a classmate during lunch, after watching some others play a soccer game. All perfectly normal. Maybe she has a point. Maybe I should just look at Hanako in the same way. Everyone has their own issues. This is hardly something unique to Yamaku. After all, it's only a high school, just like any other. As we continue to talk, I find myself smiling. Miki and I are very different people in almost every way, but it feels good to have gotten to know another classmate a bit better. A light breeze blows the scent of early summer around my head while I wait for Lily. Small white clouds litter the sky, breaking up the monotony of the blue. Isao, are you here? Lily's voice lilts on the breeze as if there were one and the same thing. I stop gazing into the sky to examine Lily. Stern, don't get too excited. With a peach off-the-shoulder sweater and tan ankle length skirt. There it is. In addition to tan sandals, she's quite a nice sight. Yeah, I'm over here, Lily, near the gate. Were you able to sneak away from Hanako? Yes, it's not uncommon for me to go out during weekends, so I don't think she noticed anything suspicious. Too late to roam his way. Oh my god. That and she has someone she sees. Oh no, the voices. Lily purses her lips as if she maybe shouldn't have continued. I find it a little hard to believe. Hanako's seeing someone? Really? No, it's just she sees a therapist every so often on weekends. Oh, well, that does make a lot of sense. Lily rubs her arm uncomfortably, and after one look at her troubled expression, I quickly move to change the topic away from Hanako. Huh. Yes? I was just wondering, you can get around the city on your own? Lily sighs at my consternation surrounding the topic of her blindness. I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. I can, yes. It's easier when I'm out with a friend or my sister, though.
She goes to talk to Pyro from TF2 on weekends.
Oh my god. I wonder how Lily gets along with her sister. Being an only child, it's hard to imagine that, what having a sibling would be like, so it makes me a little envious of her. Right, well then, the bus arrives in a few minutes, so we should probably get a move on. Indeed, that's a long wait if we miss this one.
Her therapist is Uncle Iroh, who is also helping Zuko.
You could have probably just left it at Uncle Iroh. Oh, God. With that, we set off for the bus stop on the hill. It's only a small distance from the school gate, so it's very convenient. It's a nice view from here. Coming from the city, I never really get to see scenery like this, let alone on a daily basis. This area is nice for me as well.
Hanako's scar on the wrong side.
It's tranquil and away from the noises and smells of the city. Lily's head perks up in a trademark gesture of hers, signifying that she's caught a sound. Oh, here comes the bus. I look down the road to see the bus trundling up the hill. Her hearing is quite a useful tool. The bus only takes a short while to reach the bus stop, forcing its way
Hanako
up the
seeks
road.
revenge from her father, Fire Lord Ozai.
And within a minute, we are on our way to the city. Did you ever watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, Ori? I did when it was first airing on the old Cartoon Network. I did watch it, but I never finished it. Because back in my day, we didn't have them dang fangled streaming services, so I could only watch what episodes were currently airing when they decided to air them. So I never really got, I never really finished it. I probably should sometime. I think I watched it up till the middle of, like, the Earthbender act, maybe? And even then, I didn't watch it, I didn't watch, every single episode. Again, I only saw what they were currently showing. So I didn't watch all of it, no. Walking around the city, I feel a distinct nostalgia. The smells, the traffic, the tall buildings everywhere. It's a lot like my native city, save for the
Hanako is
raised
alternative world Azula.
It's a lot like my native city, save for the raised walkways. Ending's pretty weak. It depends. If the journey's good enough, I can excuse a weak ending. But at the same time, I've seen some really bad endings that make the journey just not worth it. You know? Oh, I just noticed this is kind of... There you go.
Wait, do you think Lily can use echolocation?
If she tries hard enough, I'm sure Lily could scream loud enough and something would happen. At feels a little weird walking around the city as casually as I would in a park, but with cars rushing around underneath me. It's worth the time, but the ending is definitely a letdown. That's good enough for me, to be honest. I don't know if I have the time to watch all that, though. As I'm busily pondering the engineering marvel that is the raised walkway, I get a surprise. It takes a moment for me to realize that Lily has wrapped her arm around mine, extending her cane in front of her with her other hand. Hey, no, you can't, Lily, no, we need to remain pure for Hanako. We can't cheat on Hanako. For a moment, I'm startled, but I managed to keep enough of a lid on it for Lily not to notice. While that's not the first time that Lily's relied on me for guidance, she'd only held onto my sleeve's cuff before. It's logical that it would be easier for her to navigate a crowded and complex area such as the city while securely linked, but I'm far from being used to this kind of contact as Lily is. Finally realizing the growing silence between us as Lily waits for me to get moving, I quickly kick my brain into gear. You know, it was quite a surprise that Hanako likes to sing. Have you ever heard her do that before? I have indeed. We've been to karaoke sessions several times along with my sister. I can't say I take to the activity much, but the other two like it. Maybe Hanako doing karaoke is more fitting than I initially thought. Just her and those she knows, all alone in a little room. It would give her a rare chance to let her guard down and with nobody else there to judge her. Let's go to karaoke! Let's go do the Hanako karaoke right frickin' now. Maybe it would be nice to bring her into town for a karaoke birthday party if she likes doing it. I'm not sure she would deal very well with the excitement. I move to protest, but her face shows that she's mulling the proposal over some more. It takes quite some time for her to come to a conclusion. Then again, the best thing we can do for Hanako at this point is to try to create some pleasant birthday memories. Continually treating her as if she's abnormal won't help. I think you're right. If she has something to remember apart from loss, then maybe she'll come around. If you bought her something nice that she could see every day, then maybe she'd be able to take her mind off her past and remember that she has friends. And in any case, I think Hanako can handle something like this. In the time I've spent beside her, I've learned that she isn't quite as frightfully fragile as I first thought she was. So, shall we be off? I'm not really sure about the layout of this area. Very well. I might like to suggest having something to eat first. I haven't either, so that sounds like a good plan. Make sure you choose a nice place, Hisao. She gives a teasing smile, one that makes me smile reflexively in response, even if she can't see that. I'll make sure I do. Don't you worry about that. I want it to be known, even if I'm not necessarily responding to all of your terrible, awful, horrible jokes, I am reading them. I've read every single one of them, I think. And how dare you? How dare you? Hanako she's a good girl and you're making fun of her disabilities. You're terrible. Eve of Fire and Rain is actually a good song. I never said it wasn't, but you're making a joke based on the title. How dare you? Once inside, I order 2 slices of pie and accompanying cups of tea and take them back to our table. I'd pegged this cafe as the type to appeal to Lily. Small and quiet, but well kept and somewhat upscale. Going by the dainty smile she wears, I don't really know if I chose right. It's very, very rare to not see her smiling, after all. Nevertheless, I take a seat near her at one of the corner tables and lay down our small meals. Fine, then we're making fun of you instead with carrots. You know what? Fine. If I can protect Hanako at all, I'll take the... I mean, you're gonna do both of them anyway. I can't stop you. You're gonna make fun of me no matter what.
Hanako in a Pokeball. That way you can use a burn heal on her.
Case in point. It don't matter if you make fun of me. You're gonna make fun of me. You're gonna make fun of Hanako no matter what. It don't matter.
It doesn't matter. None of this matters.
Lily gingerly brings her head over the slice of pie placed in front of her, delicately taking in the aroma. Lemon pie, is it? Thank you, Hisao. No problem. The tea's just next to it, so be careful not to knock it over. She nods appreciatively, but judging from the slightly weak smile she has, the warning wasn't really necessary. I suppose the sound must have tipped her off to its position. Lemon! We both tuck into our food without further ado, both of us remaining largely silent as we do so. Lily isn't the type to appreciate discussion while eating, and I can't say I like it either. I'm simply offering a solution to her plight. I don't know if capturing somebody in the way that it happens in the Pokemon world is a particularly good solution. Eventually we finish both our meals and the last of our teacups follows in short order. Lily's the first to break the silence. That was very nice. I must say you've chosen quite well, Hisao. It's the first time I've really had much of a look around the city, so all I could really do is choose somewhere that looked nice. Damn, sorry. I feel really bad for inadvertently bringing up the subject of sight around Lily, but she doesn't appear to mind much.
Yes, please.
Oh my. She doesn't appear to mind much. Quite the opposite. She almost looks amused by my awkward attempt at an apology. You are thoughtful, Hisao, but sometimes I fear that it gets the better of you. There is no need to change your speech on my account. Lily truly is pretty comfortable in dealing with her condition. I still hasten to change the subject, but I can't really say that I share her confidence in the matter. You need to learn to react. Hisao, me boy! You need to really learn to relax. It ain't so serious. Have you lived here for very long? Seems like you have this place pretty much sorted out. Oh my god. He just walked from one landmine right onto another and he doesn't even know it. Not a Pokeball, but a paddle sphere instead. Oh god. She quickly waves her hand in front of her face to dismiss the notion. It's nothing like that. I've attended Yamaku since the start of high school, but I didn't walk around the city very much because Akira, my sister, picked me up and dropped me off. Alright, you mentioned not living in the dormitories until recently. It's quite a surprise. I just assumed she'd been living here since entering Yamaku at the least, which would give her a few years here. I've lived with my family for most of my life. Then I was just together with my sister. With my family having moved to Inverness long before, and Akira working long hours, I ended up having to move. It's not just me, right? Hanako definitely writes on AO3. Yeah, probably. I heard she was writing fire. Oh my god. I think you mean I heard her writing was fire, but I'll give you that. Inverness? Isn't that somewhere in Scotland? Oh, did I not tell you? My family currently lives in Scotland, the birthplace of my mother. My father's side is mainly Japanese, though. Huh. The question of what gave Lily her looks did cross my mind every now and again, but I never thought to ask. That answers that, then. To be honest, I'd never have guessed. Considering you have no accent, I'm guessing you were born here? Full marks. I am thankful for my heritage, though, as without it, I'd likely have not been taught English so early in my life. And what of you, Hisao? What about me? She gives a moment's thought. She probably should have thought of what to ask me before switching the topic. I'll go with, what are your plans for the future? To be honest, I haven't thought about that much recently. After my accident and subsequent months in the hospital, enjoying my life here with you and Hanako has been enough for me. In fact, I don't think I've thought about at all about a future for some time now. It seems almost futile. This is your last year of school. After this, you will have to fend for yourself one way or the other. It's not like I don't know that, I just haven't put much thought into it since then. She opens her mouth to continue, but gives a small sigh instead. She seems to have realized that she really doesn't know enough about my situation to go too deeply into this. Well, we all have our own pace. I just hope you'll take any chance you see. I understand. I'll think about it. As we walk back out into the city, Lily takes hold of my arm once again. So, did you get any good ideas for a present? To be honest, no. I've never really been good at picking them. As absurd as it sounds, perhaps we should just look around? Hearing Lily utter those words throws me for a moment. Right. How do we do that? That's just the reaction I was expecting. It's simple. You can go window shopping and just tell me what is around.
Hot off the press, Hanako's works are burning their place to number 1.
You are all on fire today with these. If something interesting comes up, then we might get an idea. Right. I'm still not so sure of this, but I'll take your word for it. I think we'll manage. Hanako, my sister, and I managed to do it well enough. With Lily's simplistic and rather optimistic statement, we set off into the shopping district of the city, and I start describing everything I see to Lily. It's hard to think of Hanako going window shopping. She doesn't feel like the type to place much stock in fashion, nor have I noticed her reading magazines or the like. In fact, all I think I've really seen her do as a hobby is read books. There's a housewares shop just ahead. Looks like it's mostly crockery, though. I can't think she'd have much of a need for that. What type of message would that send to her?
Hisao should put himself in a present and reenact that one SNL skit from 2012.
Put himself in a present and read. Oh. Is that dick in it? Oh, it is. It is, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, yeah. Okay. Alright. Congratulations. You earned a horny bell ring. Congratulations. Cook more food? That's not such a bad idea, maybe. Sometimes it's best to leave these things alone, Hisao. Once again, I get the feeling that Hanako's exploits in the kitchen aren't always successful. Lily must have had to help her with that sometimes. Oh yeah, Lily can cook. Let's see, next along is a bookshop. That seems like a good one. She's always reading. I mean, yeah, you could get her a book because you know that she likes reading, but like, is it that special, really? Think it through, Hisao. Yes, but there are a few problems with books. I'm not quite sure what she has and hasn't read. What about a gift card, then? Psh. There's nothing as impersonal as giving someone a gift card. It's like saying, I don't know enough about you to work out what you'd like. Thank God Hisao has Lily here to help. My man is hopeless. I always thought of it as making sure they got what they wanted. Giving people gifts is supposed to show them the level of affection you have for them. If you can't decide on a simple gift for them, then how could you think of them? Or then how much could you think of them? Right. No gift cards. Lily seems overly passionate about this, but I can see your point. If you're gonna get something for someone, then you should at least put some thought into it. Lily is the best wingman we could have right now. Oh my god. She is just saving Hisao from himself. The perfect present, a companion cube. I mean, I get it. If somebody gifted me like a little companion cube gift thing, I'd be pretty happy. That'd be pretty cool.
Get her Song of Fire and Ice.
You people. You people. If I want to get something for Hanako that reminds her of us every day, then what good is a gift card? In that case, what did you get Hanako last year? A porcelain doll. I thought that if she had someone to talk to, it might help her ease her pain. Oh, that's only one reason. It's also what happens at the end of the testing chamber with the companion cube. Oh. God damn it. How they evaporate when you walk them through the thing. Alright. A doll isn't ever going to criticize her after all. So, should I be looking for a doll shop? If you could be so kind to keep a lookout for one, I would be grateful. Sounds good to me, though I wish you'd mentioned it earlier. But if I did that, then you wouldn't have started thinking for yourself, would you? Oh, Lily, you're so smart. Oh, no. The companion cube has to be put in an incinerator to pass the chamber. Oh, yeah. God damn it. Once again, Lily has a point. My brain is currently analyzing every store we pass for gift options. If Lily had mentioned a doll shop to begin with, I wouldn't have thought of anything else. We wander through the city streets, but seem unable to find anything that resembles a doll shop, or anything that I could consider a fitting present. The simple act of searching is starting to clear my head. The events of last week are starting to fade away, and I'm looking forward to giving Hanako her gift. If I can find one, that is. This is hopeless. I thought we'd be able to find something in the city for sure, and I'm sure we've walked down the street at least once before. That almost sounded like you're giving up, Hisao. I'm not, but it's a lot harder than I thought. Try not to be so restricted in your thinking. Maybe we should actually go into some shops and have a look around. That might work. I've never really been any good at window shopping. Lily and I circle around the city streets once more, this time popping into stores that catch our attention. In the end, though, nothing really comes up as especially appropriate. Hanako's tastes are quite often hard to pin down at the best of times, thanks to her intensely private nature. And those tastes, we do know, are hard to accommodate. Maybe take a break here for a minute? I'm a bit exhausted. I agree and leave Lily to rest again against the railing while I go to get a couple of drinks from a nearby vending machine. After walking up to the vending machine and grabbing...
Spencer's has quality clean items.
Oh, shut the... Not really knowing Lily's taste, I decide to take a guess and grab something that seems a little girly, but not too weird. Strawberry-flavored milk. Back. I walk up to her and place the carton in her outstretched hands, making sure she has to grip on it before letting go. She feels out its contours before opening it and taking a very tentative sip. Her approving smile afterwards telling me I made the right choice. We both rest and have a quiet drink for a few minutes. A familiar soft ringing begins to sound from Lily's side. She quickly apologizes as her hand goes into her pocket, pulling out her mobile phone. Do you mind if I take this? It's fine, don't worry. She nods to me and thanks before turning away and flipping the phone open, bringing it to the side of her face as she picks up the call. Going by the tone of Lily's voice, the person on the other end is no doubt some friend or another. I tune out of their conversation pretty quickly as the snippets that Lily says make it sound like little more than gossip. Without much else to do, I find myself watching Lily. She really is a pretty girl, which would hardly hurt her popularity in school. It's interesting just how much Hanako and Lily contrast with each other, in both personality and appearance. For a few minutes, I just lean back and drink, watching her. Before long, Lily says her goodbyes to the person she's talking to and hangs up, placing her phone back in her pocket and leaning back against the railing as before. Sorry, just a friend from class. I take one final swig from my can before throwing it into the bin. Lily gives me her carton to throw away soon after, finishing it off relatively quickly. Phone means 3 people present. Oh my god. You seem to have a lot of friends. Oh? Lily waits for me to continue, her interest piqued. I was just thinking that you and Hanako contrast really heavily. It's hard to imagine Hanako doing a lot of the things you do, or knowing the people you know. You seem to think about Hanako quite a bit. God damn, Lily is smart. I don't know, it's just, she's mysterious, I guess. I kind of want to know more about her, which isn't that easy. It almost sounds like you're doubting your relationship to her. I don't think it's that, I just want to do more for her. Being her friend and all, I don't even really know how she sees me. The statement seems to interest Lily quite a bit. I wonder if Hanako said anything about me to Lily during their conversations. I'm about to ask what's on her mind as she picks herself up from the railing. Shall we be off then? Her voice and expression show that she's playing games with me. Lily knows damn well that she's leaving me hanging. With a sigh, I pick myself up off the railing as well and have a brief look around. We have stuff to do, so I'll just try to get back to her about this later. Tucked in between a newsstand and a convenience store is a small shop. The sign above the door reads Othello's Antiques in decorative English script. It would be easy to miss if we were walking along the street, but since we're stationary and I'm purposefully looking around, it's just noticeable. Say, Lily, that doll you got, Hanako, was it new? Well, yes, but I'm not quite sure I know what you mean. I think I found our shop. It's across the road. Oh, what is it? Some kind of toy shop? It's an antique shop. I think it's probably going to be our best bet. Really? I didn't even know we had one of those near here. Neither did I. I missed it the first time we went by here. It's pretty well hidden. Well then, it can't hurt to check. Inspired by this new find, we quickly dust ourselves off and head towards the store, Lily's hand finding its way to my elbow for guidance. The store has a strange, musky scent to it. The layout is more like a garage than a store. Things are strewn about the floor without any immediate semblance of order. The shopkeeper gives us an almost bored look through his particularly small eyes. His face looks weary and tired, and his dress style is distinctly anachronistic. He gives us a polite nod of welcome before going back to his book. Lily holds tightly onto my arm, and I find myself having to split my efforts between making sure we don't miss a potential gift for Hanako, and making sure Lily doesn't inadvertently bump into anything. The task is quite difficult given the haphazard way the store is laid out, and the many things poking out of the shelves they're on or sitting on pieces of furniture, but eventually we safely arrive at an old desk, covered in dolls and teddy bears. I think this is the right place. There's pretty much every kind of doll you can imagine here. That should make the choice much simpler. Could you please pick one for me, Hisao? I had a feeling that it would come to this. I picture Hanako in my mind and try to imagine which of the dolls before me would suit her best. My eyes wander across the collection. Each one is as exquisite as the one before it. The sheer number of styles is boggling, but eventually one catches my eye. Here, what about this one? I pick a small porcelain doll that looks to be at least somewhat affordable, dressed in a Victorian-era green dress with a little brown hat, woohoo, sitting atop its blonde hair. It looks a little like Lily. I gently pass it to her, who delicately feels her way around the object while wearing a look of slight concentration. It certainly feels beautiful. Do you think it would suit Hanako, in your opinion? Alright, Microsoft, screw off. I just had a pop-up that says, start planning for Windows 10, end of support. How about shut up and go away? Sheesh. I think it would. It could look good in her room. In that case, I'll trust your judgment. Will you be getting her something as well, or shall this be a shared gift? I'm not sure. I think I should get her something myself, but I don't think getting her another doll is such a great idea. Maybe... Lily just tested Hisao. She did. She asked him a question, but she already knew that there was a correct answer to it, and she wanted to see if Hisao could come to that conclusion on his own. And would you look at that? He did. Good job, Hisao, you're learning. I let my voice trail off as I looked around the shop. Resting on a writing table not far from us is a decorative box that catches my eye. Wait here, I think I found something. My, that was fast. You mean to tell me that both Lily and Hisao give her the... Wait, no. Wait. Yeah, they're both giving Hanako the same gifts that, the same things that Hisao picked up. Can you give Stern Cold 1 point, please? Malicious compliance. I gingerly walk through a collection of crystal glassware and pick up the box. The wooden sides are covered in carvings depicting ancient battles around a castle. The top, however, looks far too familiar. Alternating squares of white and black varnished wood are arranged on the lid. That's a really nice item. It's a chest. Oh no, he didn't get her a music box. Okay, this is a different thing entirely. It's a chess set from overseas. The store's owner suddenly appears. The store owner's sudden appearance startles me a little. I didn't see him approaching at all. I suppose he's trying to help us because we don't really look like we know what we're looking for. Or, on the other hand, maybe he wants to keep an eye on us because he suspects we might shoplift instead. I'm looking for a present for a friend. I see. In that case, this chess set would make a fine choice. Realization floods into my mind. This is a pretty good-looking set, but this is an antique shop. They're not well known for their bargain prices. How old is this? This is a reproduction. My best estimate is that it's about 5 years old. I see. How much? He thinks a little before telling me, which is slightly disconcerting. I'll let you take this now for 7,000 yen. I balk a little. I wasn't expecting to spend that much, but this does seem perfect. Then again, maybe that's a testament to how well he worked out how much he could make me pay. Couldn't make it 5,000?
5,500. No lower.
I'm sold. Oh, and we'd also like to get that doll. The store owner looks over my shoulder, focusing on Lily and the doll in her hands. His eyes narrow and he visibly takes a moment to switch mental gears. In the process, his smile drops slightly. I guess that means that not everything in his store is a reproduction.
Are you quite sure that you want that doll, miss?
I trust my friend's judgment.
I see. Oh, no offense.
None taken. If you could please wrap it for me, it would be appreciated.
Yes, of course, but it is 20,000 yen.
Lily reaches into her purse and presents 4 crisp-looking 5,000 yen notes. Here you are, 20,000 yen. The storekeeper dutifully takes them and the doll and proceeds to the counter. I take Lily's arm and guide her there. Are you sure about this? It's okay. I have the funds I need. As I said, I trust your judgment. I feel a little guilty on 2 fronts. Firstly, because Lily has just spent a lot of money on my recommendation. And secondly, because I have a feeling the value of my gift isn't high enough. Hisao, it's not about it ain't about the money, Hisao. It's about the feeling. 20,000 yen, that's 129 USD. That's at the current price. I don't know what it would have been at the time this game takes place or at the time this game was made. You'd have to look at the USD to yen conversion rates in like 2010-ish. Which I think were better than they are now. That burning you feel? It's called shame. Let Hisao learn. True. Nevertheless, Lily does seem to get somewhat awkward whenever the mention of money comes about. It's because nobody really knows that her family's rich yet. I hand the shopkeeper my present and the money for it in turn. He puts the cash into the register before busying himself with wrapping the doll and repeating the process on the chessboard. Jesus Christ, the yen's value has literally dropped by 50% in the last 12 years. Exactly. To be fair, it hasn't really been dropping in the last 12 years. It just kind of dropped significantly within the past 2 or 3 years, I think. Eventually, he finishes the gift wrapping and hands us both our presents. Please be careful on your way back, and do come again. Thanks. Indeed, thank you for— God damn it, Stern Cold, you did it again. Are you proud of yourself? Do you just have it timed out so you know exactly what minute you'll have the points? Indeed, thank you very much. The store owner bows deeply to us as we leave. Well, it did take us all day, but we found something in the end. That we did. Now that the presents are wrapped, I'm feeling a little impatient to give them to Hanako. It's a common reaction to buying gifts, wanting to see the reaction of the receiver as they discover what it is. And part of me wants to return to Hanako just to confirm her condition with my own eyes. So, should we head back? Let's. We've done a lot of walking today, so I shan't mind taking a rest back at the dormitories. Lily's right. Now that the need to find a shop is over, my legs are feeling quite tired. Well then, back to school for us. I'm looking forward to resting a bit too. Lily holds out her arm, and I link mine with hers. Together we make our way back to the bus stop. And I think that's a pretty good stopping point for today. We're probably about halfway through Act 3. So next time we'll do the birthday party and whatever else. Not cut in half in the last 12 years, cut in half in the last 2 years. Yeah, that sounds about right, because the entire world's economy has not been doing so hot. Japan's been hit hard by it too. Shame I was ready to flare out again if we were to see Hanako again. You're terrible. You're awful. Oh well, you'll just have to hold on to those points and do it next time. How terrible. What a shame. What a shame. Anyway, let's pop over to just chat for a little bit. Anyway, so, what a shame, yes. Next, I believe, on Wednesday, we have the quote-unquote finale. And we're throwing Angie, apparently, but we got the finale for Bears in Space, which is going to be exciting. I love that game. Such a good game. I'm gonna be a little upset that we're gonna be done with it, to be honest. I like it. I like that game so much. But then after that, we'll continue on Limbus Company Canto 4. We should be able to beat the tree and start the dungeon, which the dungeon I anticipate will take like 2 streams? This is gonna be unbearable. Oh, absolutely. I think the dungeon will take like 2, maybe 3 streams to finish, so we'll probably get that done next week. And then also starting this week, on Friday, we got a Stardew Valley collab with Hayami, Toasty, and Suna. We're gonna be doing that just about every single week on either Friday or Saturday, depending on our schedules. At least that's the plan, and that should be a lot of fun because I like Stardew Valley. It's gonna be some good streams to relax to, chat with, mess about, you know how it is. And then, yeah, after Limbus Company, oh, I just thought of a game to play after Limbus Company. What was it? I forgot it already. I'm terrible. I'm the worst. I really gotta start jotting my thoughts down somewhere. I gotta, like, download a notepad app on my phone so I can just write things down when I'm thinking of it. Yeah, well, I'll think of it. I'll rethink of it, probably, maybe, I don't know. Don't forget Thistlemine. Oh yeah. There's quite a few things. There's so many games that are just sitting in my backlog that I need to get through. I'll think of something. Oh yeah, I also did say I was gonna do a Gen 1 only playthrough of Moemon Star Emerald. There's too many games to play and not enough time. Either way, we're gonna do Katawa Shoujo's. I think we're just gonna do that on Mondays for probably the next, like, 3 months still. We got Stardew Valley for a while at least, and then we're gonna and then I think we're gonna just do one other game a week. Should I add more games? No! You bought too many games. Now you have to play them all. Yeah. The hardest part is I want to make videos for them all, but if I spend time making videos, I can't play, and that slows me down when it comes to other games. And then more games get added to the list. It is just a never-ending. It's just a never-ending cycle of not being able to get stuff done. Oh well. It is what it is. Bought too many games and I have to play them all. He didn't get it. No, I guess I didn't get it. What is there to get? I don't know. I am not a smart man. Listen, if you're gonna make a reference, there's like a that's level 2 old Steam Train reference. Yeah, I don't get it. If you make a reference, there's like a 50-50 chance that I get it. It doesn't even matter what kind of reference it is. It could be like one of the most obscure, bizarre references ever, and there's still a chance that I just suddenly get it. On the flip note, there could be something that like is really obvious to most people, and there's still a very good chance that I just don't know. I am just weird like that. It's not even obscure. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like 50-50 no matter what. Take it or leave it. Really obvious to most people? I don't know, maybe I haven't heard of it. It's like the most obscure, bizarre thing. There's still a chance I've heard of it. I'm just weird like that. Anyway, I'll catch y'all Wednesday for Bears in Space. That'll be the finale for that one. I hope we're gonna have our usual 3 hours allocated for it, but I have no idea if it's actually gonna take me 3 hours to beat. In April, you should become a top hat. Oh god. Listen, you played more obscure. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is like you really weird, obscure things I might just know, and then like really common, obvious things that people talk about all the time, and I just have no clue. Case in point, literally like any Capcom title. Any Capcom title that you can think of, I probably have not played it. Silent Hill, no. Street Fighter, is that Capcom? Yeah, that was Capcom. Not really. Not a huge fan of Street Fighter. I have played it, but not a huge fan. What other Capcom title does? Resident Evil, I think, is Capcom? Nah, nope. Monster Hunter? Not really. Xmas stream when? I haven't figured out my Xmas stream yet. I do know that the gang and I want to do a Left 4 Dead 2 Christmas edition. I gotta come up with something for that, but that's at least one Xmas stream that we're gonna do. I'll think of something. Xmas costume one as well. I think we might. It's technically gonna be wrong, but I think I might just reuse last year's because I don't know that I have enough time to get a new one with a new model. Maybe I do. I don't know. I'll have to think on it. Anyway, that was Hanako Act 2 and like half of Act 3. This hasn't been as hard, I guess, as I was expecting it to maybe be. I was expecting maybe her route would have some really odd or tough decisions to it, but so far, they haven't been too bad. I think I've picked the right. There's only been 2 dialogue options. I think I picked the right one each time. Quick, 1 point. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today. Catch you Wednesday. Yeah, we can just end the stream with Stern having 69 points. Congratulations, Stern. Have a good one. Catch you for Bears Wednesday.